What's happening, everybody, and welcome back to the True Gamer Podcast, a podcast hosted by two gamers for you, the true gamers. I'm one of your hosts, Eddie, along with my bro, the inverted gamer himself, Sheps. How are you doing, bro?
Yeah, I mean, I'm all right. It's good to be back in the old familiar set.
Yeah, it's same old. We're just
right.
doing the usual grind as
Exactly.
usual.
Nothing's really changed. I'm still not sleeping.
Not sleeping. I didn't think that would change at all.
Nothing's really changed for you either.
Me as well. Honestly, it's just been
More of the same.
It's just been a bit boring, you know.
Yeah.
I wish you could just switch it up in life every now and again.
Right. A lot of just rinse, repeat, wake up, game.
Exactly.
No wait. Wherever.
Eat, sleep, game, repeat.
That's it. Hey, it's
OG
a throwback.
fans know
It's
what
a
it's all about.
throwback to a failed project.
That's so depressing.
In fairness, it isn't a failed project because that channel and this channel were started as a test, which proved that I was completely right. We were totally shadow banned.
Yeah, we should start again. That's what we should have done.
Yeah. So there we go. It was all worthwhile in the end.
But jokes aside, we're here in the brand new studio. This is
are.
our first recording, and I'm a bit nervous.
Yeah, a little bit of me. I said it as a joke, and then as soon as it came out of my mouth, I was like, "Oh, what if it's true that like all of the talent was based on the room, and like all of the something about having to make things work, you know." Well, must maybe made like all the creative juices work better because we were forced into this like tight space. We had to make the most of everything we had and somehow managed it. And because we did it, we like struck gold.
Yeah.
But now we're like, oh, I bet there's gold in them hills over there. And there's no gold.
There's no gold there.
There's just better looking hills.
That's what this is. Oh, God. Well, you guys can let us know if this is a success or not, or if we've just made a huge error. I will move back. For you guys, we'll move all the way back there, live in the small room. Whatnot. But yeah, welcome back to the True Gamer Podcast. Thank you guys for being here each and every week. Thank you for making this new studio move possible. As I said,
because it's all the money we make from YouTube as well.
Do you know, the way I said it made it sound like you guys funded this.
Right.
You guys paid the, what is it, like 600 grand it costs for a house now?
What's funny is there's already this conspiracy that in the last episode, you purposely removed my background and kept your background to like make yourself look better, right? And now it's like, how come Sheps doesn't have like even a streaming PC, but Ed has a new house?
That's it. All of the again, the $600,000 you guys have been
which is
sending every
exactly
month.
pretty much to the penny what this channel's made.
Exactly. You guys are sending it directly to me, and Sheps doesn't even get a background.
That's right.
Because of your complaints. Look, I made him a background. Are you happy? You're happy?
Yeah, right. You're still not getting paid.
No
house,
but
yeah,
you'll get a background.
Good enough. Close enough, innit?
Good stuff. No, I was going to say thank you because, like I said on the last episode, you guys that got my tools back was basically the whole reason why I could even get this house done properly. Otherwise, I can't afford to pay the people to come in and do this stuff. Me doing it myself was the only way that I could get this shit done. So thank you so much for that. You guys are legends and whatnot. Bro, before we get going, let's thank a terrible group of people. A group of people that honestly, those, you know when I said thank you to those people before?
Yeah. Not these. I mean, to be honest, if we weren't contractually obliged, I wouldn't even bring them up. It's sort of like, you know, that Simpsons episode where upstairs there's like a twin Bart trapped in the attic and no one knows about him. They never let him out. That's
these guys.
Yeah.
They're at the top, so, you know. They're
exactly. The highest out of the way.
Exactly,
right.
exactly. Right. These people are our super bros who support us over at patreon.com/Conbrosations. You have space for
I got space for it.
/Conbrosations who support us at the super bro tier. Thank you guys so much for being so generous and so awesome. Those great people are Diogo Dildo, Isak the Ultimate Cumso, Sabine from Smallville, the Star Wars Encyclopedia, Adam Sunling, Catsbud the Friendly Patron, Jeremy Renner, that's right, an official Avenger. By the way, did you see that the from Hawkeye, the character Echo, the deaf woman, you know, the woman who could fight but somehow is really strong or whatever.
Yeah, she was like super strong, even though she had like, I understand her metal limbs being like good things to block and hit with, but
she used that metal leg to kick someone across the room, and it's like that doesn't
There's no
affect your muscle.
in it. Yeah.
Anyway, she's getting her own dedicated Disney show. Everyone was asking for it.
Okay.
Super Sus Ben Fryer, the Filthy Thief Fanatic Joe McCormack, Clark the 53rd, My Juicy Lefner, the Super Sexy Producer Sean, and Kevin, the #1 simp.
so stupid.
Of Xbox. Welcome back, Kevin. Welcome back,
Kevin.
It turns out it was just like a weird decline thing, and it just got back into it.
It always happens. Yeah. Innit? Two things. One, when you make it into the Super Bro tier, you get untold amounts of shit. Two, we don't stop giving you shit.
Yeah. We just
You don't get out of it. So
I will say, any of these other guys, you can all unsub today. I don't care. I don't give a shit. But Kevin was the one that hurt the most because he was the joke of the whole thing.
there's a few that they just help us find our place in the order. Like Big Boy Billy, free shout out.
Oh.
Like there's something about those bees that's so satisfying.
Yeah.
And same with Kevin. That is a good end. Plus, obviously, the classic hilarious jokes never got old yet.
Yeah.
What I will say is, one, obviously, with the Patreon names, any problems are totally on you because you're the guy that makes the list.
Of course. Yes, yeah.
And two, I am starting to see one thing. I got genuinely a little bit anxious just then because this is the first time that we've had patrons that you've read the list and I haven't been able to see what's coming. So like normally you'd be like Clark and I go the 53rd or something, right?
Yeah.
Or like Jeremy Renner and I were like, that's right, an official Avenger. I don't know where they come. I can't see them.
You can't look over my shoulder and see that button.
And I also can't spring it on you when I know you don't have them ready. Which is, if you were wondering, 100% what I was doing.
Fuck, is you really looking at my screen?
100%.
This motherfucker.
I'd be like, they're not up. But who do we have today?
Oh, he's not got it up. I got him now.
Oh, he doesn't have it up. Oh, well.
6 tabs deep in something else. No problem. I got him now. You son of a bitch. Do you know what? There is something I just forgot. Mikey Tilly as well is now Super Bro, but I've just sent him a message. He hasn't replied yet, so I don't know what to call him. We haven't talked about it yet. So Mikey T,
my guy,
Super Bro, thank you so much for supporting us.
What's
Super
really
Bro
bad
right
is
here.
what happens if he gets that list and he's like, that is motherfuckers didn't say my name, and we've mentioned him.
Unsub, and he's like,
Unsub.
do you know what? I've unsubbed already. I can't sub again.
Can't unsub further.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Can I get a refund for what I did put in? Thank you very much. Thank you, bro, so much for keeping the lights and mics on and the gaming going here at Conbrosations.
That's right. Talking of gaming, are you playing anything? I mean,
Bro,
I know you haven't been busy at all.
I have not been busy, right? No. Do you know what? I haven't played a single freaking game. Unless you count hide and seek with Isla. That's about as far as it gets, right?
Who's better?
Honestly, she likes being scared. So, like, you go and hide.
Kids like that. It's like an adrenaline rush.
She does. She's fucking adrenaline junkie. That's what she is. You hide around in my bedroom, the bed is high enough where I can see, like, underneath it and see her little feet coming along and whatnot.
That sounds so fucking cute.
And I do it in a way where, like, so she can see where I am so she can find me. And then I hide behind the bed and I see her little feet coming around. And she's got to the part now where she's smart and she can anticipate stuff. And she knows if she goes around this corner, that's where he's going to be. And she does this cute thing. She stops there and she's like...
Her laugh is ridiculous.
So cute.
It's nuts.
So, true gamer right here, hide and seek, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, boy.
I did do a stream the other day, though, on Tuesday. And that was probably one of the funniest streams I've ever done.
I did see it was like, I only could stop by for like 2 minutes.
Yeah.
But it was the Make Me Laugh or something.
Yeah, it was basically the guys are sending me short clips so I can laugh and see if they can make me laugh. I'm a guy that is very prone to laughter.
Yeah.
So it wasn't very hard. There were some that I was like, no, I'm a rock. I ain't no emotions. I'm Sheps. Here I am.
That's right.
But there was a lot of really funny memes.
I feel like that's a sort of challenge that I'd be really good at until the one that breaks me. And then gone for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And then after that point, like the walls are down.
Yeah.
You know?
T sent one that got me. I was like, that's it. He's the king. Crown. He's done it. There we go right there.
I saw where Adriana read the dad joke. And she read it. It was something like, how do you know a Star Destroyer is going to a party because it wears a tie or something? Yeah. And then she immediately cracked up and then goes, ah, I don't get it. That killed me.
I don't get it. That's so good. That's so good.
Yeah.
Who would have thought that Adriana's actually funny? Who would have thought?
Talking of that stream, and because we were talking about money, we should see if we've made enough to get a payout yet.
Let's have a look. Money
doesn't necessarily have to be on here, but what was our password again? Password.
Yeah, just say it out loud.
Guest.
That's it.
Yeah,
there we go. That
guest.
was it.
Yeah.
Guest 0. Done.
Yeah.
There you go. Yes, I haven't been playing much.
Guest 0. So stupid.
That stream was good fun. Have you played anything? Have you played anything interesting?
Yeah, I got. I actually have a question for you and the gamers.
Okay.
I'm about an hour and a half into Elden Ring.
Oh, good stuff.
Yeah, except not really.
Okay.
So I get the impression that the story is incredible.
Right.
The gameplay doesn't do it for me. So far, like I said, I'm only an hour and a half in. Now, my real question is this: for once, that's actually would be a lie. I didn't go straight where I was supposed to go. I did find some secret doors and stuff like that, but
we wasn't going to believe you if you said that.
I didn't
so
spend the first 10 hours exploring. Right. I was exploring a thing. A guy clapped my cheeks. I respawned. I respawned. Went over to some statue to get away from him, and it was like, oh, hidden door. And I was like, well, I have to, right? It's told me it's there. So I went and checked that out. And then I came back and I went where I thought I was supposed to go. Met some chick at a fire, Morena or something, who gave me a horse, which was cool.
Standard.
And then I went exactly where I was pretty sure I was supposed to go. And I bumped into this dude, Margit, who I know that name.
I've heard of that name, yeah.
My question is, I am an hour and a half into the game. I have no gear, no stats. Am I supposed to be able to fight this? Am I intended to fight this guy right now and it opens up the path? Or am I expected to go somewhere else?
This is the thing. Because Elden Ring's a little bit different to like Souls games that I've played before. And I haven't played Elden Ring yet as well. I haven't even gone and looked up videos because I want to like enjoy it for myself when I finally get the time. I can't say for sure. If this was a Souls game, I'd be like, the gear that you've got, if you got no gear, it might not be good enough.
Starting gear.
You might need to go fight some like minor enemies and then build up your... In Bloodborne, it was blood echoes and whatnot, and in this, there's probably something similar.
I have starting gear, and I put 1 point in strength when I met that chick at the fire. That's all I have.
you might have to you'd find like a vendor, and then you'd buy like better gear and stuff that, and then I would say go find one of those. I think starting gear is probably, if I had to guess from my Souls knowledge, I'd say that isn't good enough to go fight anyone.
I can get him down to about 3/4 health, right?
Oh shit!
I take like 25% off. But the thing I have this other question. What I hear is that you learn the boss, right? You learn their things.
Yeah.
He's got like 5 or 6 different openers. So the first couple times, obviously, I haven't beat him, obviously. But like the third time in, he did the same jump. And I'm like, cool, I know how to do this now. He killed me. 4th time in, I go in. He's throwing spells at me instead. It's different. And so now I'm like, okay, fine, I'll learn this. Maybe I was at a different range, but that didn't seem to affect it. And then by the time I feel like I've got the jumps out of the way of that to get to him, he does a totally different attack again. Yeah. So this guy's got like 4 or 5 different ways to start the fight. And I was under the impression that you learn their things and then that's how you beat them.
Previous Souls games sound like it's supposed to be like that. You figure out their patterns. And basically do not try and get in the way of those heavy attacks. Just try and dodge those. That's the way it's been.
So I was actually on Ethan.
This is your first Souls game, by the way.
Absolutely, yeah.
So you're
haven't played Sekiro, haven't played Demon's Souls, Bloodborne, nothing.
Yeah, cool.
I am finding, and I spoke to Ethan, he was streaming last night when I obviously wasn't sleeping, so I was like, I'll hang out with my boy.
When you say when you're not sleeping, that's 24 hours of the day. You can't name, I was doing this thing the other day when I wasn't sleeping. That's every hour of the day.
Yeah, but I feel like it's to let people know roughly what section of the day, you know? Like, for if someone says, just after breakfast, it's in the morning, right?
That's like you saying, I was like, when I wasn't having sex. Was like, that's for every day for you. That's 24 hours of the day. It doesn't really
narrow it down, does it?
Exactly. But anyway, go on.
So I was saying to him, and I feel like this is a fair statement, but I don't know if it's a fair comparison. I said, at least right now, when I have nothing, 1 extra strength than starting. That's all that's different. I feel like the game's kind of punishing me. It's kind of sluggish. And I don't mean, like, I understand it's supposed to be hard, right? Like, I played a bit of Sifu, same sort of thing. I know it's supposed to be hard, and I didn't enjoy it, but I didn't feel like I was being punished.
Right.
With this, I feel like what's happening is there's input lag in the sense that I'm committed to an action. So if I dodge, I have to, like, I'm rolling out of the way. It's press the button, start the animation, finish the roll, stand up, and then I can do what I want to do. That's how it feels. And I'm also feeling that, and I feel like the blocking and parrying is something that's on me. I'm doing it way too early.
Yeah.
I need to, there's a point where they're like winding up and then they go, and I'm going, this guy's going to attack, block, and you know.
So this is actually I understand what you mean, and I felt this the first time when I started playing Bloodborne as well. This is the whole genre, the way it works. There are defined parameters for like you said, that roll, that animation takes a certain amount of time, and the reason why it takes a certain amount of time is that once you commit yourself to it, then you're in that animation. You can't do anything else, and you're supposed to time everything so perfectly. If your boss winds up and you press the wrong button to do a wrong move and you do a wrong animation, you're gonna get punished for that. I understand what you mean, but that is actually how it's supposed to be. It's not fucked up.
That bit I understand. I believe that the roll is like invulnerability frames. So I get that, right? Like it's very powerful, but if I mess it up, what bugs me is that once I've finished the animation, I'm stood up again, there is a point where I want to block or attack and I'm not getting anything.
Right.
And I think, don't get me wrong, I don't think it's like an input lag thing. Like there was that thing with Kenna.
Yeah.
I don't think it's that. I think it's supposed to be, but I feel like I'm being sort of not punished, but because the example I gave on the stream with Ethan was I said, in comparison to like a duel in Ghost of Tsushima, it feels incredibly sluggish. And I don't like those duels. Obviously, are very slick, and I think it's a reasonable statement, but I don't know if it's a fair comparison. If that makes sense.
I feel you. It might be as well that it is buggy.
Yeah.
Because I know that Elden Ring was buggy at launch, and everyone seemed to have given it a pass for some reason.
And if there are bugs, I will find them.
You will find them.
Yeah.
It could be, but again, we're both speaking. I'm speaking even less out of turn than you because I haven't even had a single hour in this game, so I can't tell. But the guys that are watching, you can let him know if he's missing something, or if maybe that's a stat thing. You maybe need to boost your stats maybe to make yourself a little bit better, or maybe it's because there's such a thing called have you heard of fat rolling?
No.
So if you've got too much weight on you, too much is it too much armor or something like that? When you do a roll, it's called a fat roll, where you do a slower roll and it might have that like input lag towards the end. Whereas if you're more of a lean character, then you can do a quick dodge or something like that. So it might be something to do with that, but the guys can let you know whether or not that's something.
And to be clear, I'm not saying this is a fault of the game. I'm saying I feel that. And I'm trying to compare it to Ghost of Tsushima, which I know isn't fair.
Stop being a coward. Just call the game that everyone's calling Game of the Year, Game of the Decade. Call it piece of shit. Call it a piece of shit. Stop being a coward.
Hold on a minute. Do you know what this game has that Ghost of Tsushima doesn't? PvP. It's Game of the Year, boys.
Ghost of Tsushima.
That's it. How I'm getting on it.
Tweet Sucker Punch now.
That's right. I'm probably not even joking. Blocked by a bunch of these guys at this point. Like
these guys have all muted you.
Like
talking into the fucking.
They're reasonable. Like it's like here's a reasonable point. Why haven't you given this to me? And it's like an animation lead or something. And I'm like, at this point, the main guys aren't listening to me. If I annoy enough people, they're going to come. Please, can we put this in so this guy will stop tweeting?
It's like, I'm the environmental art director. I do the leaves.
I'm a QA tester. All I do is see if you can jump and get into rocks. That's all I do for 12 hours a day. Anyway, so like, I really get the sense the story is incredible. It feels like it's set up properly. What I really need to know is if I'm intended to be able to beat this guy. Like, it could well be. So the way the game starts, this is like in the first 5 minutes, so I don't consider it a spoiler, is I think I'm alive, and I run in somewhere, and this demon thing just claps you. You probably can beat it. I couldn't, because it was my first 5 minutes in the game.
Yeah.
By the way, I'm also having a real hard time changing my mind around for, like, the mapping. So, like, square being my heel feels so weird. Feels so strange. And I've hit that a bunch of times, and obviously it puts you into that animation, and then I get clapped.
I've done that so many times. Like in every single, you think I would.
It feels like it should be fast attack.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is.
And then you're like, you're like slowly walking around while you're like drinking something. You're like, I'm about to get. I'm dead.
So many times. So, but again, that isn't a problem with the game at all. It's totally on me. I just at the beginning of the game, I run into this thing. It seemed quite powerful, just completely destroyed me. Like 2 hits, dead, and then I wake up, and people are calling me tarnished and shit. So I assume I'm dead. So I don't know if I'm supposed to get here, realize I can't beat this guy, and go around or something. That I don't know these games. So
well, the guys will let you know in the chat.
Know.
Let them know.
But
feel free to tweet him constantly, like the way he tweets the Ghost of Tsushima devs.
For real.
And yeah, see what happens there.
Yeah. Also, I could use. input on like the most beginner friendly build. I
Bro,
made
just go
two
straight
characters.
magic. That's all you need to do.
Well, I hear that magic's OP,
OP.
but I made a magic character. So I'm actually probably an hour and 45 minutes in. I made a magic character, same sort of thing, and didn't seem to have any spells as far as I could really tell. So I assume you have to like fight
Work
and
for
then learn it. So I was a bit
It's like
confused there.
Hogwarts, innit? Leviosa. Not
Leviosa.
Leviosa.
Yeah. So I was
Oh, they're going to call me a
immediately...
Potterhead, aren't they? Yeah.
Immediately I was like, screw this, I'm just going to smash things with a sword or something. I don't mind if it's a silly build. I just want it to be like beginner friendly and good.
No
Like,
wrong.
I'm not in it for the challenge. The game's the challenge. The game's challenging enough. I don't need to be the guy that
Just-
puts the pot on his head and
Just
solos
him
her.
waking up in the morning and agreeing to continue with life is
Let
a
me stop you
challenge
there.
enough.
What was this waking up thing?
Sorry, I
don't
mean,
understand.
We started off in the wrong area, didn't we? We should this is unfamiliar territory.
So like, otherwise I like it. It looks okay. It looks good. I just the bit that's okay. I'll tell you what it is for me. I want to put in a good few more hours so I can really say, okay, I don't like it. Like it's not for me. Not that it's not good, but like Ghost of Tsushima, you have like fights early on and the combat pulled me in.
Yeah.
Spider-Man, you immediately start swinging and
Yeah.
that pulls you in.
Yeah.
And like it's so satisfying to win a duel or to web around New York that I'm hooked by the gameplay. And in this, it's much more like a game from like 2007, right? It feels a lot like Mass Effect.
Yeah,
You know how you were feeling that
yeah.
is how it feels to me in comparison, because I'm thinking about
The real hook is going to be that satisfaction, that dopamine hit you get when you
Yeah.
beat someone.
I will say that
I want to know what your feelings are when you finally do, and then you come back here and be like, I need another hit. I need another hit. I,
mean,
just need to
maybe.
find someone.
maybe, but I did that with Sifu.
Yeah.
I beat the first guy, the bamboo dude,
Yeah.
and I wasn't particularly satisfied. I just felt like I'd been punished, making me wait all that time. And then I went and fought Sean, the second boss, and I was like, Sean's too hard, and I'm not enjoying myself. I'm out.
See you later.
Again, the game's good. I wasn't having fun. Now I'll tell you a difference. though. I really enjoyed the Rat King fight, and that was pretty tough. That took me a few attempts to get. So it's not hard. It's not something being difficult that
We'll see.
is the problem.
Let's see. I hope you do get into it because, like you said, you've never been interested in a Souls game
Yeah,
before.
yeah.
It's the first Souls game you had.
It would be
And if you
nice to
did
have
like it, that'd be
another.
cool.
Yeah, it would be nice to have like another.
Genre to be into.
Yeah, like page in the book to flip to and be like, oh shit, was it Bloodborne? Is
Yeah.
on the like. I watched George's whole like hour and 45-minute video on. I think it was Bloodborne. It might have been Demon Souls.
I think it was Demon Souls.
Yeah, and it sounded amazing. And it would be cool to get into another whole branch. Plus, Sekiro's right up my alley.
Do you know what? George, the reason why he's so into it because he was about as high as a skyscraper.
That's probably it.
You
innit?
need to be as high as a skyscraper when you
probably
play
it.
these games. That's what
He was
it
just
is.
flying over the bosses.
He was flying over them. The guy was so
Talking
high.
of the Walfords,
Yes.
happy birthday to Wames.
Oh yes,
It's Wames'
Wames,
birthday. He's
yes.
25, I
And
think.
Ben Higgins as well. Apparently it's his birthday. as well.
Gamers. It's all down here from here, boys.
Yeah. Old gits, you know.
You're going to get to that age soon where you can strain your neck from sleeping wrong. I don't know about that bit, but
Do you know how old James is?
I think he's 25.
Yeah, 25. I was like, this guy is still a fucking kid. Look
He's
at
still a
this guy.
sperm.
You know, he just came out of his dad the other day.
Oh my God.
Boys, let's get into the show and talk about. Start the timer. Today's topics include a new PlayStation 5 is on the way. Does it come with an energy drink dispenser? Not likely. Not one.
These Top Gear titles, it feels like it.
Not one, not two, but three Silent Hill games are apparently in development.
Yeah.
An update to the list of games that we can look forward to in the new PlayStation Plus Game Pass service that's coming soon. And the topic of the show, Xbox and Bethesda have delayed their next big first-party exclusive, Starfield and Redfall, leaving Xbox without a single first-party game in the entirety of 2022. Let's kick it off with that, boys.
When did Infinite launch?
December
Oh, did it?
2021.
I thought it was January.
So, I'm going to read directly from Bethesda themselves, who posted
Okay.
the picture to announce the delay. And it goes like this. We've made the decision, just straight into it, we've made the decision to delay the launch of Redfall and Starfield to the first half of 2023. The teams at Arcane Austin, Redfall, and Bethesda Game Studios, Starfield, have incredible ambitions for their games, and we want to ensure that the game receives the best, most polished version of them. Which is funny because it's Bethesda's talking about polish.
Not even getting into it.
We want to thank everyone for the excitement for Redfall and Starfield. The energy is a huge part of what inspires us every day and drives our own excitement for what we are creating. We can't wait to share our first deep dive into gameplay for both Redfall and Starfield soon. Thank you for your support.
I mean, if you don't mind, I'd like to lead out.
Go ahead.
I feel like we called this a month ago. Where do you remember I said I could see them delaying this so it's closer to Fable. Do you remember I said that? They push it into next year to get away from Halo flopping, getting closer to Fable. So they go, this year it's this, next year it's that.
This is when Xbox really started
Right,
this
right,
year
right.
and stuff like that. But bro, I mean, it's not like we were saying, man, we haven't seen any gameplay of this. That's really troubling. No.
No, we never said that.
It's
We never said that.
Bethesda. They always show gameplay really late. And it's like, yeah, cool, I get that, but we're living in a different time. No, you're being silly, Ed and Sheps.
Well, also,
don't be
it's
so
like, okay,
silly.
okay, they always show gameplay really late. How about we're 3 months away from when this game's around about supposed to launch? That I would say is pretty late.
Yeah.
We're at that point.
This thing needs to be shown off at some point, and it wasn't. Anyway, this is a massive blow to Xbox, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And the community has actually, they've reached their boiling point, I think. The Xbox community have started to throw hands. Like, the day that it came out, there was all the most toxic people that are like always shilling for Xbox and always like, nah, they can
This
never
is
do
good
anything
for the
wrong.
game.
That kind of stuff. Even those guys
Yeah.
were like, no, this is unacceptable. Like, you keep telling us games are coming. We don't even have a release date for this now.
Yeah.
So we have to assume that's going to be, you said the first half of 2023. Let's say it's in the latter part of that.
Yeah.
That's going to be over a year and a half without any first party games. You keep buying studios, you keep announcing games, and then...
But guys, you can get access to Game Pass for free now. It's the best value for money. I mean, there's nothing to play. And we're not bringing you anything. And the only person that's going to do it is the guys that made Fallout 76. But it's I will say, it's actually not fun. One, always ragging on Xbox and their studios and stuff. And two, continually being right.
Yeah.
And as early as we are, because people just beef us out, and then by the time the announcement happens, because we were so early, people forget that we called it.
Yeah.
And this isn't to pat us on the back. It's not because we're super smart, because you can just check out the YouTube channel, right? It just there's evidence, you know. It's that we're just paying attention. That's all we're doing, and we also care, and we also care. People don't believe it, but about Xbox, which is one of the reasons. By the way, your trolling, your baiting has become so hilarious to me. I saw you did a post, I think it was about Starfield, just before this released, and a bunch of the boys jumped on it as well.
Yeah.
And I want to give some praise, just a slight tangent, to, I'm pretty sure, because it was like a week and a half ago now, I'm pretty sure it was Adam, who said something along your lines of like, it deserves to be on PlayStation. And someone said, well, give us God of War something, because that doesn't make sense. And then the guy was like, well, if you want our game, we want your game. And he was like, you're not making any sense here. And he was like, no. Adam goes, look, Starfield deserves to be on the PlayStation. And they were like, well, give us things. He's like, it doesn't. What are you saying? Doesn't make any sense. It was the best troll.
The trolls are great on our side, aren't they?
Funny. It was so funny. He was so consistent. He was like, you're not making sense. You're not making sense. It was just hilarious. It was the funniest thing I've read on Twitter in a long time. So I just wanted to shout
how
them
they
out.
all fall for it, man. Fucking, that's just so much.
It's just so much bait.
Anyway,
Back to the thing.
Back to the topic. So, how do you think this impacts Xbox? Do you think that it's as bad as I think it is in terms of like really embarrassing for the look of Xbox and also for the first party games lineup that they've got?
I mean, the thing is, how much worse can it get for Xbox? This is a real question. How much worse can it get? And what I mean is, you can find unlimited supply of Series S's. Series X's are obtainable. PS5s are unobtainium. You cannot get one. But a Series X you can get. You can find them. So that's one thing. And there are no games. And the last IP that came out was one of the biggest names. Not in gaming. One of the biggest names. My mum knows Halo. Right? There are boomers that have heard of Halo.
Yeah.
And that
Barely made a dent.
that tanked, you know?
It's just not looking great, is it?
But they have unlimited money. And it's worse. Like, you know, a couple of weeks ago I found out how much the Azure servers make.
Yeah.
I did not realize that just the servers made more than what Microsoft in 2016 made. Which means when we say they have unlimited money, they actually have unlimited money. Like, I saw the receipt.
The money's just do be coming in.
Like they can do. You know, a while ago we were talking about what do you think Microsoft's play is, and I was like, if they're making a 30-year play for the entertainment industry, then it doesn't matter how much money they lose up front. But and we were saying like, well, there's got to be a point where they say we can't keep spending money.
Yeah.
Except that it looks like that there isn't a point now.
That's the thing. They can fund it. They can just
forever.
keep funding it.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of making sure everyone is all on the same page, because at some point somebody could just raise a hand and be like, can we just move on to something that makes money?
Right.
Can we? Look, other people are making money. Can we do that as well?
Also,
can we do that?
I want to be really clear.
Please.
when we say Game Pass doesn't make any money, right? Everybody goes, no, but there's this many people on it, and like, let's assume every single person is on it, they stay on it, and they pay full price, which isn't true.
Yeah.
But let's say that Microsoft's number, Xbox's number was, what was it, 52 million or something? It's 50 million or something.
Back in the day, before they purchased Bethesda,
Before any price increases and extra purchases, they said we need, I think it was 53.
Yeah.
They said 53 million for Game Pass to be profitable. Right? Which means, according to them, it doesn't make any money.
Yeah.
And that was before they spent, well, upwards of $70 billion. Right? It was 7 for Bethesda, and then 70 for, 68. Like, why would you not go to 69 for Activision? And it needed 53 before that. It needed 53 million users to break even. And their highest number, I think, was 28. 25, which is still massive. I'm not taking anything away from that, but it doesn't make money according to them. So it loses money. It's bad for the developers, and we know this because other people who have less tight contracts have come out and said we don't make money when it goes on these subscription services. And that was on PlayStation as well, where people buy games way more and for higher prices. Also, now what are we going to do with... let me ask you a question. Slight tangent. When has a delay actually been good?
Well, this is the thing. So this is a point that I want to bring up as well, is that people, when they heard the delay, there's always the usual thing. You say, well, look, delay is good because it means they have more time to work on the game, more time to work out bugs, and it's a more polished product when you come out. Right. And I'm like, generally, that is true. That would have
been true in 2016.
That is genuinely true. You get more time to work on something. It should be better in the end. Definitely better than releasing it right now where you're admitting it's not in a good state. Yeah. But the problem is that we have now gone through the era of Cyberpunk 2077, which had countless delays, and then when it came out, it looked like the way it looked like. So
that's the only way to say it.
That's the only way to say it, right? So this blind faith that delaying a game is going to guarantee that it's going to come out good, I don't understand it, and I don't understand where all this blind faith comes from, because we've had first-hand evidence and been burnt by that first-hand to show that doesn't always happen.
Yeah.
You can say, okay, it's a delay. I mean, I can't force it to come out, no problem, wash my hands of it and walk away. But don't sit there and go, this is actually good for everything. This guarantees we're going to get a good product now, okay, guys? Guys, we guarantee you can put the Phil Spencer seal of approval on it. It's guaranteed it's going to be coming good. Because that's just lies. That's just nonsense. You have to still wait until see what comes. Because if that's true, go and pre-order it right now. Go and sink all your money into it right now.
But they're not, because it's going to come out on Game Pass day release.
Exactly. You're still not going to do that because it's all about Game Pass.
So again, how's it going to make money?
So this is a quick. I actually wrote this down. I was going to come to this later, but it's come up organically, so I'll put it down here. I wrote down a couple of points.
This time it really did come up organically, which normally it does, but I 100% can't see it now.
It goes, so I wrote down here, so you know how Game Pass is not being profitable, it's kind of detrimental, and it means that the business model doesn't work, right? Well, Starfield's delay only makes it worse, right?
Okay.
Because every day without a first-party release stretches it even further and causes so many problems. So it goes, if there was a steady stream of games, people that are get the 3 months of Game Pass for $1 would at least go, all right, let me just continue my subscription because I've got a new game coming out, and they feel served, so they continue going, and they might continue paying full price if they can't continuously find those codes and change
certainly not, but
and change their email address or something like that. But maybe they continue going because they see value in it, right? And if there's value, you pay a fair price. That's what you would do. But because there's no steady stream of games, people come to the end of that code, they just cancel.
Yeah.
And then that number goes down, which means they're getting even less money from this service that was already a hole in the floor anyway, just taking money.
No live service games like, say, I don't know, Halo Infinite to keep people on.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If you release a game on time, at least when that game comes out, you get an influx of subscribers. You don't sell any of them because now they're all on Game Pass, so you don't have that revenue to rely on. But at least people come into your service.
And your hardcore fans say, like you said, well, I'm getting games.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But still, at least you get some revenue coming in from that service, even if it's $1 or if there's people that are dumb enough to pay the whole $15.
Yeah.
But that's not happening as well because of this delay. And with the delay, you've now got this extra 6 months of development that you also need to fund.
Yeah, for sure.
So an extra 6 months of development for all of these developers.
Where people are presumably dropping off Game Pass.
Exactly.
We assume. We have no idea.
Revenue is going down and costs are still going up.
Yeah.
It just makes it even worse. And they can't even rely on, like we said, they can't even rely on the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow when they finally release the game because they're putting it on a service that is costing pennies. A game that costs hundreds of millions to develop is going away for pennies on the dollar.
Yeah.
And then no one's going to pay full price for it at the end. At least if you were selling it full price at the end, you can be like, doesn't matter if we delay it.
Yeah.
Because at the end, we're going to get 10 million sales at $60.
Well, they can't even bring it to PlayStation.
Exactly.
Where we would buy it.
So they've screwed themselves in this whole situation. That's the extra detrimental effect of Game Pass.
Silver lining, at least we can trust the developer who's making it.
At least.
Right? Because they haven't been full of scandals like selling you a door for like almost $20 or pitching you a product and then shipping you out basically a Tesco's shopping bag.
Yeah.
You know, like...
I brought that up as well when because apparently the Starfield Collector's Edition got leaked,
right?
And it looked fantastic. It looked like it looked like something from The Martian, and I was like, "Ooh, that looks really good." But then I was like, "Wait a minute, these are the guys that tried to scam us the last time with the Collector's Edition." So,
oh yeah, okay, there's some cool stuff.
I don't know if I want to trust them.
Yeah, like this looks like that little box looks pretty cool.
Yeah,
and that watch looks pretty cool. But watch it be like. Literally just a prop watch that doesn't do anything and like a shitty 3D printed box.
The case is going to be, it's made out of like the cheapest like little plastic and it doesn't open, it's just a case.
Yeah.
It's like, there you go.
Yeah, and that clip doesn't even move. No. You just get to, it's just a display case.
Anyway, I thought it looked cool, but then I remembered that. But yeah, it just, delays of any games from Microsoft cause this massive domino effect of things that can go wrong for their service. On top of it already not making a ton of money and them needing to push out free codes all the time to everyone, it's now made so much worse with every single delay, of which there are a lot of with Microsoft now. Do you want to let's quickly go back to Starfield, because this is genuinely so bad. This was the game that everyone was looking forward to.
We were looking forward to it.
I was looking forward to it. Man, a space RPG sounds fucking amazing.
I love sci-fi.
Sounds amazing.
I hate horror, and I played the only two completely lost it. Isaac Clarke. Dead Space.
They only
made two. The two that they made were fantastic.
Yeah.
no one would play a third one because it wasn't needed.
Oh, of course, yeah.
And you would just ruin the franchise, and you would know this going in. So I would never have played the third one. I hate horror.
But you played Dead Space.
I played both of them because they were fantastic, and I love sci-fi that much that I'll even play zombies in space.
Yeah.
Because something about not being able to get out.
And this could be fantastic. This could be fantastic.
Yeah.
So we're looking forward to it.
Yeah.
We just need to...
And we have access. Like, we could play it. I don't have to go and buy an Xbox. And
we just have to get the game,
Yeah.
right? And there's no sense in us wanting it to be delayed. There's no point in that because we just get to play it.
Well, it would be good.
Exactly.
Good games are good for gamers.
Exactly.
Simple as. We all win when we all play, bruv.
But what really rubbed me the wrong way,
Okay.
and a few other people felt it was okay. Ethan tried to talk me down off a ledge off of this one. Maybe I'm being overreacting here. I don't know.
If Ethan's your voice of reason here, like
That's psycho.
this is either 100% the right call or 100% the wrong call.
Yeah,
There's no in between.
So Phil Spencer, 2 days before the delay of Starfield and
Yeah.
Redfall, he tweeted out a picture of him at Bethesda Game Studios sitting in a theater, and it looked like they were watching something on a screen, but we're not facing the screen, facing the other way.
Okay.
And everyone's standing up, they're all hugging and whatnot,
Yeah.
they're all like smiling away.
Like they just landed a satellite on the moon or something. Yeah,
Exactly. As if they'd accomplished something. You'd think by this picture they were like, he's just seen Starfield. He's seen Starfield and it's fucking amazing.
Yeah.
They're going to show it off on June 12th at that Bethesda event and it's going to fucking smash. Yes, it's looking great. And he put down here, really great to be at Bethesda, seeing the games and talking about with all the talented teams. So good to be back in the studio again. Yes, and everyone's like, it's Starfield, just get in there. And then 2 days later, they go and delay the game.
Hashtag media trained.
This tweet seems
It's
so
propaganda.
disingenuous.
It's propaganda.
Right?
It's propaganda.
They're all standing there with smiles on their face. Everything's all hunky-dory, guys. Everyone, Starfield is coming soon. Actually, it's in a really shit spot. We're delaying the game right now. So disingenuous. They didn't have to post this tweet.
Oh, no.
They didn't have to post this tweet.
Also, you would think, I would assume, Phil Spencer would know the state Starfield was in. And if the senior guys were coming in and saying, this timeline may not be appropriate, right? That he would know that.
Yeah.
At least that there was the discussion had been tabled, right? The senior guys are going to come in, they're going to talk to their management. That guy's going to go, yo, Phil, just to make you aware, all of the head engineers running this thing, you know, some of the most talented, brilliant people, the guys that made our last hit, Deathloop, for PlayStation.
They came from Arcane. They were like, you know,
the only thing we've made that's any good in the last 10 years that was under their management, they've all come to me and said, we may not make this deadline. They're pretty worried. There are significant issues. It's going to be very tight, blah, blah, blah. We are talking about delays. And that would happen more than 2 days before the release of that statement.
At least, well, in my opinion, the way it worked is that they all had their decision, like you said before. They've all made their decision that this kind of needs to be delayed, and at least they were the reason why Phil was coming today to have a look at it, so they can say we need more time. This is what we've made so far.
Oh, the
X,
idea
Y,
that
and Z's gone wrong.
if Phil hasn't had the email, that no one goes, yo, Phil, bruv, while we've got you,
right?
Yeah. This is the timeline and this is where we are.
It just seems so disingenuous when you post this tweet. Anyway, I just wanted to point that out there because that rubbed me the wrong way. You can let me know whether or not I was I'm wrong on that, I'm off base or whatever, but there's something going on there.
I have a question for you sort of on this note, in particular about what Phil did here. And because we mentioned Cyberpunk as like another analogous thing.
Yes.
Is it not starting to feel like Microsoft is one of those, in particular Xbox, is one of those Arasakas? You know, or Militech. It's Microtech. You know, it's starting to feel, and not in the sense that they got like the private armies and that stuff, which I'm sure they've had people killed. They're billions of dollars of business, like for sure.
This is going to affect our money?
For legal reasons, that was a joke. Yeah, it's going to affect our baseline. Mate, if you're going to make a 1% loss, I'm just saying, people get killed for way less. I just feel like the way those companies present stuff in that game, and like if you read the lore for Cyberpunk 2077, there's some great stuff. It's used to be like a Dungeons and Dragons type game, so there's a ton of lore which is incredible how they managed to mess it up, because it's literally all there. You know, like The Witcher had a few books to go on. You know, this had like decades worth of stuff.
Here's the blueprint.
Yeah, and like
Throw away.
this is how these things work, and it's been balanced because people have been playing it for 30 years, you know. But the way those companies present themselves in the game, like to the public, is very, very similar to this.
Yep.
And it is worrying, I guess.
Yeah.
Mainly, the real thing is that there are so many people that have bought into it. And I know we say that, like, as a joke, we say we're Sony ponies, but the second they step out of line, we're immediately like, they're a soulless corporation. They will sell you down the river. This is not good. They shouldn't have done it.
Yeah.
And when they go the extra mile, you know, with the PS Plus moving to not PS Plus, PS Now moving to
if you're on PS Now, then you get the premium tier.
We 100% said it's not something they didn't need to do it, and they did it to buy you. They did it to buy your goodwill.
Yeah, yeah.
They didn't need to do it, but it's adding value. But they didn't do it because they're nice. They did it because it's probably going to make them more money.
Yeah.
And it's going to get them more goodwill.
Speaking of that, you know how I said, like, the worst, like, the most toxic Xbox that I see online?
Yeah.
Even they came out and said, no, this is unacceptable. This is totally bad and stuff like that. You can't keep delaying these games. And you can't not release games by a bunch of studios and just continually not do anything with any of them, or at least not produce anything from them. There's definitely something wrong with your management. Phil, whatever your management style is, it's wrong.
I mean, we know Bethesda can do it. Deathloop did it on time.
Right, you need these studios have made games before. It just happens to be now they're under Microsoft's rule.
Yeah.
Suddenly they all get relaxed. They all just get whatever they want.
On their own, they slip up. Under Sony, they produce a product in a timely fashion that is apparently very good.
Yeah.
Under Microsoft, they seem to be slipping up.
And I've got a post here that was posted a couple of days ago on the Xbox Series X subreddit.
Okay.
From
there's
one guy.
There's a subreddit for the Series.
There's a subreddit for anything.
What about
world.
the Series S?
I highly doubt it.
I'll be honest, I thought you said S, which is why I was like, there's a subreddit for the Series S, but you said X, and the problem is they picked two letters that are basically identical.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I put down here, Microsoft's reveal windows for games is getting worse and worse, right?
Yeah.
And he's listed
700 days.
And he's listed for a bunch of games, how many months after the reveal did the game release.
Oh, God.
Forza, on here, the first one, 5 months after it was revealed, was released.
Okay.
Pretty good. Pretty good stuff right there.
Forza's a staple. It's sort of like a FIFA. Yeah. If you can't get Forza out...
Right. Halo Infinite, 42 months.
Oh.
Psychonauts, 68 months.
Jesus.
Grounded, 30 months and counting, because it hasn't come out
Oh,
yet.
yeah, that's right.
Hellblade, 29 and counting. Forza Motorsport, 22 and counting. Fable, 22 and counting. Everwild, 30 and counting. Avowed, 22 and counting. Perfect Dark, 17 and counting. Outer Worlds 2, 11 and counting. Contraband, 11 and counting. Project Mara, 28 and counting. And then from Bethesda, Deathloop took 27 months to come out.
That's from release, yeah?
Yeah, from reveal to release.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
Ghostwire, and we had every state of play, we had a showing of Deathloop.
Oh, God. if they had delayed that game... I'm like, I've seen half of it already. It's made.
How much more of the game is there? Ghostwire Tokyo, 33 months. Redfall, 11 months. Starfield, 47 months. And these are still counting.
Yeah.
Indiana Jones, 16 months and still counting.
Okay, that's fair.
The Elder Scrolls 6, 47 months and counting.
Right.
This is ridiculous. That's ridiculous. In comparison, he also put down PlayStation's ones.
Okay.
MLB The Show, 2 months. MLB The Show, that's on another platform. That's still 2 months as well. Astro's Playroom, 5 months. Demon's Souls, 5 months. Mars Morales, 5 months. Sackboy Big Adventure, 5 months. Destruction All-Stars, 8 months. Returnal, 10 months. Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart, 12 months. Horizon Forbidden West, that one is a bit high, 20 months. And Gran Turismo, 21 months. Spider-Man 2, 8 months.
Not that... I'm sure this is also true of some of those Xbox games, but I happen to know the timeline for Horizon, which was just about the time the pandemic hit.
Yeah.
So, fair enough for that, and I'm sure there are Xbox ones, so fair enough for those.
And a point that I'm going to bring up in a second as well is that it's limited. Some of them do get affected by the pandemic. A lot of games have been affected by it. But you can't use that excuse for everything.
If you're at 47 months, which is...
You predate the pandemic by that point.
12, 24. So that's almost 4 years.
Yeah. You predate the pandemic now.
Yeah, exactly.
Spider-Man 2, 8 months and counting. Wolverine, 8 months and counting. Horizon Call of the Mountain,
I will
4
say,
months
I
and
think
counting.
those two, Horizon... not X-Men. Wolverine and Spider-Man, I think those will go to be quite long, relative.
I would agree with you
Yeah.
had it not be Insomniac.
Let me take that back. I think Wolverine will go a bit longer.
Wolverine, yes.
Spider-Man's basically probably made.
Yeah, I could see right now they're in there. They're just like, yeah, we're just putting the final touches on it.
I could for sure see them going, yeah, like somewhere from December to like March 23, that they go like, yeah, it's ready. Here you go.
Yeah,
because they're Insomniac, and I'd actually, to be completely fair, take anything from Insomniac out because it's actually not fair.
They operate on a different plane of time.
I actually, don't get me wrong, I'm not a game dev, but I have a general understanding of how the world works. They're doing something. You're a Harry Potter fan. You'll know about the
yes.
They got one of those
time turners.
There you go. For sure, they've got it. For sure, because how many people work at Insomniac?
I think there's like 2,000 people. I'd love.
That's not that many for the timelines they're pushing out.
I'd love to know how many other devs think like we do. Like, we're over here busting our asses. These guys are producing games every 2 years.
Well, apparently, this is as of 2017, which is 5 years old, in fairness. It just says 400 plus. I'm going to put the 2021.
Yeah. I'm going to...
275 plus.
Nah, surely not.
Yeah, Insomniac Games. This is the thing. We've grown from approximately 50 employees to 270 plus, spanning 2 studios on both coasts. There's no way.
No. So, okay. So here we go. This is the thing that I always use whenever I'm like looking at how many employees there are. LinkedIn.
Okay.
Insomniac Games LinkedIn. This has to be current because it has to be up to date on.
Yeah, it's LinkedIn. Yeah, if you're still working there. Yeah.
444 employees.
There's no way. It's not possible. It's not possible because
it's crazy.
It's not possible.
How do they make so many games?
It's not possible. For reference,
Sony Santa Monica 387. It's not that much less.
That's not a lot.
It's
either.
like 50 less.
Well, also because Cyberpunk was made when, or like the let me rephrase that. The team that finished The Witcher 3, by the time they were finished and ramping up into Cyberpunk, they were well over 1,000. Yeah. Well over. And also at that point a premier studio.
Yeah.
Everybody knew The Witcher 3. All the best talent wants to work there, right? And they were well over 1,000. And someone beefed me out because I said CDPR was a big firm at the time, independent but big. And someone goes, because I put out the number, it was something in the region of like 2,000 employees, and they go, well, that's still only 600 devs. And I'm like, no, you've got this wrong around. It's 600 devs.
That's
plus.
a lot.
That's a lot. That's
crazy.
I was expecting you to say, 2,000 devs, total staff of like 4,000 or 3,000 something. Okay. Still kind of tight for the amount, the quality, how refined it is, and to get it out.
Occam's razor. We came up with the simplest solution. They just simply time travel. Why are we trying to square this circle? We already know that this is a circle.
Honestly, if you've got a better explanation, I would love to hear it because I did the math. I've got a napkin here. It's got like 400. Make a game in 2 years. That does not equal.
Does not equal. The only other variable is time, and then you put it in there and it's done.
Yeah, exactly.
So going back to the point that I was saying about like why is it that Microsoft can't put out these things and why it's such a big thing, so I put down here, people are complaining and rightfully so.
Yeah.
And people are giving the excuse, well, the pandemic, right? The pandemic affected a lot of games, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, yeah, okay, the pandemic shook us up a bit, but eventually we have to move on.
Yeah.
Eventually you have to move on from that one excuse and take some responsibility and also buckle down and do some work, right? Because you guys announced the release date. No one's holding a gun to your head saying, hey, release the date, put the release date out right now, say when it's going to come out.
Also, when it was announced,
the
most recent date was announced 3 months ago, if I've got my time
right.
right.
For Starfield? I think it was at E3.
Oh, shit.
I think it was at, no, it wasn't at E3, no.
No, yeah, I feel like it was more recent. It was this year. Was it not?
It was either this year or very late last year.
Let's say it's within 6 months.
Yeah.
In the last 6 months, everybody has known about the pandemic. Everybody has come up with how their business is going to work under those conditions.
Yeah.
The vaccines have come out, the mask mandates are like up, down, businesses are going to mask, not going to mask. So like that's all been tested and tried. So 6 months ago, you will have had a fairly decent idea of how your business was going to run if it was going to continue to run, which of course Microsoft is.
Yeah.
So I don't buy this.
Yeah, I don't buy that either. That was
That's weak. If we were in the middle of 2020 or early 21, I'd be like, okay.
That's why I don't buy
Yeah.
that anymore. And I'm easing off of the, like, I gave no pressure when they said pandemic in the beginning, but now I'm putting some more pressure on. I'm like, look, you can't keep using that same thing.
You built your business and we built this channel in that same period, and you had a kid.
Exactly. We've
and
done
I
things.
moved, and you moved, and we kept working, and
we've done things, and you guys have infinite resources
and we're
as well.
idiots.
And I said, like, you announced the date. No one's holding a gun to your head.
Yeah.
You didn't have to put that date down, but you're still doing it and then delaying it. And also, other publishers are producing games left, right, and center. PlayStation have released 3 games from first-party studios this year already.
Go here because it's just so much. Stop! He's already dead.
Horizon Forbidden West, GT7, and MLB The Show. And about to release the 4th one, as long as that still hits its date, of God of War Ragnarok. Nintendo does it. So why can't Microsoft, with infinite money and infinite resources, do the same thing? At some point, you have to say, okay, Phil, the buck stops with you.
Yeah.
You're the one that runs this ship. You're failing at running this ship. At least for the... No, I mean, he's not, everything's not falling apart, but he's not producing games on time.
Yeah.
He's not delivering on the promise that they made to people who subscribe to Game Pass that we're going to give you day one first-party exclusives. They said as well at one point that they were going to eventually get to the point where they release first-party games one every quarter.
They're not on
You
this
can't
time,
even make
no.
one a year. How are you going to make one a quarter?
You missed one, by the way. Ratchet and Clank, that came out in June 2021. So in the middle of the...
Right?
That was going through 2020 into 21.
Right?
So... Not to rub salt in the wound, but like...
Other publishers are doing it, and they're handling the pandemic as well. It's not easy. I'm not saying it's a walk in the park.
No.
But they're doing it.
Yeah.
And they're doing multiple games. Why can't you do one?
Well, you know, in fairness, when the games come out and they spend, I don't know, hypothetically, for legal reasons, it's a joke, $500 million.
Right.
At least it leads the field, right? It holds true to one of the most sacred IPs, one of the things that got most people into gaming, that functionally launched your console, launched Major League Gaming, pro gaming in that sense, launched the FPS into the new world, along with Call of Duty, launched one of the best sci-fi franchises of all time, and, you know, kept to that, held true to the IP, was every bit the match and equal of a game that came out, let's say like 2007, we'll just take it back a little bit, came out fully fledged, right? It had Forge, it had online multiplayer, it had campaign, it had, I mean, I don't think it needed a battle royale, but, you know, whatever.
That's another point to the, you know, the thing you said earlier.
I'll never let that one go, by the way. And I know it's 343, but they still control an IP that I love.
Everyone said it when it was coming out. It was like, Halo needs to smack. Halo needs to set the world on fire. Otherwise, we lose entire faith. And here we are right now losing our entire faith because they've had the ample opportunity to produce and they haven't.
I'm going to say something. This is going to rub a lot of people the wrong way.
Go on.
Of the 2 IPs that need to like really slap, Fable and Halo, and in my opinion, Halo was the easy dub.
Yeah, that was the easier one by a country mile.
And I love it, and I'm not trying to take anything away from Halo not being a fantastic IP and all that stuff, because they only made 3. 4 Reach.
Yeah.
That's the easier game by a long, long way. And to prove it, id made Doom Eternal, which is basically Halo, except you're fighting demons, not aliens. I mean, it's the same game, and Doom Eternal fucked hard.
It did.
Really hard. And Halo Infinite did not. And I feel like if id can do it, 343 with the unlimited backing of Microsoft, like, something's wrong here, you know? whether it's a fundamental like building the game on a premise of like we're going to milk everybody for microtransactions. One, the wrong premise to build a game on, but it could be done. I feel like Fortnite's basically that.
Yeah.
And that works. Like it's possible to do, and to do ethically. They're rotten to the core somewhere, and I'm not saying that people at 343 are evil or not good or not passionate. I'm saying that something's messed up.
I firmly believe that it's a management problem from like Phil's style and everyone up there, where they give too much freedom. And I'm not saying like they should fucking whip them or something like that, but you give too much freedom to someone. Like you give too much freedom to a kid who wants to do it, who's got to do his homework.
Yeah,
they'll never do their homework.
Yeah.
That's the whole thing. I think that's the solution, but that's the problem. But when do you think it's going to be enough? When do you think we're going to have to be like, okay, just like EA and just like what Bethesda was before Xbox bought them and suddenly that whole thing was wiped clean, at what point do we go, okay, this publisher cannot be trusted anymore? This publisher cannot be trusted to produce quality games anymore.
Yeah.
We must put them to the side. Until they produce a couple of back-to-back bangers, we can't trust them anymore. We threw CDPR straight away after one bad thing.
Yeah,
Xbox do continuous bad steps, and we're still there for them for some reason. Well, not we, but the hive mind is for some reason. When do you think that's going to be?
So, prior to a month ago, I would have agreed with you that there will come a point. You'd been saying for a while. At some point, someone's going to look at the numbers and say, "Phil, this isn't making money. You've pitched us like a 10 or 15 year plan or whatever. It's not working. You're out. Someone else is in." And then I learned how much money Microsoft was making just from those servers. And I genuinely now don't know.
So you think it's just it could be infinite. It could just be,
If they keep making, they don't even have to keep making more money. If they just keep making that money, which the Azure servers are really good, so I don't see why that would stop.
I don't see either.
I really think they can just foot this bill forever.
Well, then I have to ask you guys, the people who are watching, the people who are fans of Xbox One, when is it going to be enough with you? Because them funding all this stuff and then continuing down the same path of producing subpar quality, at one point do you say, do you know what? I'm not on board. I'm not on board. I'm not going to be here anymore until you guys do something where you can prove time and time again that you've changed direction, till you've done something that can change the quality of what you're producing. I need to know when, because eventually those shills as well need to be able to give up.
I'm not so sure. I really genuinely believe that this is got to the point where there are people that are just subscribed to the religion of Xbox or the religion of PlayStation. Like we've seen it with reasonable people on our Discord, for example. Reasonable people are going, I'm on Game Pass. I like these games. I'm looking for a PS5. A bunch of them. Just looking for PS5s now. And I think the rest are just Xbox. And I don't mean that. I just mean that they can't see a world where they don't have Xbox.
Yeah, I do genuinely think there's people like that. Now, here's the thing. There's another group of people in this whole thing, and it really leads right into right into the writing from Tailgate that we've got right here. There's another group of people who have been bought by the promise of what Xbox is offering, right?
Yeah.
Tailgate writes in on the Starfield delay. He says, "I was hoping it would come out this year because Starfield was one of the games I got my Series S for." So a lot of people have been told this thing that they're going to be like, we're going to produce games, we're going to give you these big things, and then have now taken it away from them, which is shitty in my opinion.
I feel so bad for you because if you'd been here like a year and a half ago, I think that was before you joined us, Tailgate. I was saying, if Halo's good enough, I will get. I mean, I said Series S and then I immediately changed my mind to an X because it's Halo, and if it's a true successor, I'll spend the money. Yeah. I really love it. But I said I'm waiting, and I think all of you should too. Wait for the game to come out. You'll miss a week, but if it's that good, people are still playing Halo 3 or some version of it, right?
At least you won't be burnt like I was with Cyberpunk, right?
Right, and we were saying that, and I feel so bad for people that got an S. Even
I hope you find some sort of love with it.
Even at that price point, I feel like you got ripped off, and I hope you don't. But I feel on your behalf that you got ripped off, even at that price point, and it bugs me so much that I'm not trying to pimp us out here, but like I wish we'd had a bigger audience and been able to tell enough people like, wait.
Yeah, hold on. We're not saying ditch Xbox for life.
Not at all.
Just hold on.
Yeah. And
at least
also,
let them prove to you that they're going to do
also,
something.
we have a Patreon, right? So we're going to buy this. If the stuff's worth it, we'll buy it collectively.
Yeah.
And we will let you know our 100% honest feelings. And then you can go, okay, well, these guys who aren't games journalists, who will get more than 4 hours into a game before saying God of War's not a tender, loving story, you freaking idiot. Like, that burns me up every time as well. Like, we'll tell you what we honestly think. And if we think it's worth you considering, like, even Ghost of Tsushima, I pimp that game so much, and I say
There's problems.
it has problems. I think it's worth the money. I'm not telling you to buy it. I think it's worth the money. And it has these problems, and I'll list them the second you ask. Let us get this stuff and tell you if it's any good.
Yeah.
And I beg you for the next stuff coming up. We'll buy it. Like that's what our Patreon money goes towards a lot of times, to be in the discussion. Let us get...
Use your YouTubers. That's what they're there for. Use them.
Yeah.
He continues to go on, and this goes on to the final point about this, right? He goes, but now it's been delayed. I don't know what big game I want to play. I want to play on it for the holidays. God of War Ragnarok will keep us busy on my PS5, so he has a PS5 at least, until it comes out. If Ragnarok wins a Game of the Year, Xbox on Twitter will be so pissed because, according to them, Ragnarok is nothing but a DLC with reused assets. So
that blows me away.
I got two things to bring up here. One, do you think God of War Ragnarok still comes out this year? And two, how funny would it be? This is Zacchino's joke, not mine, so I'm not taking credit.
Okay.
How funny would it be if it comes out on 11/11/22, the same date that Starfield was supposed to come out?
Oh, that's hilarious.
The internet would literally, it would just be like, it's just gasoline, it's just waiting for a spark.
See, Corey is a big enough troll to do it. And he's a bit like socially awkward, so I think he might not understand how big of a slap in the face that would be. And I would...
Luckily, Eric Williams has got a bit of control here.
I would say somewhere in that range, we don't have a firm date, but it's coming out soon, it'll be ready. And then I would shadow drop it and say, hey guys, I think you need something to play today. It's out.
I heard you guys were looking for something to play today.
All right. That's what I would do. But I'm also willing to get sued. If the joke's good enough, you know.
So do you think God of War Ragnarok
That's
still
hilarious.
makes it for 2022?
I will say...
Because we still haven't seen... Well, we've seen gameplay at least from it. Yeah, I was going to say, we've seen that. It's more like a cinematic trailer, but it was filled with gameplay.
It was filled with gameplay, and we it's happened twice, we got less for God of War when it released than we got for Horizon when that released. So Horizon is heavier on the stuff. So that fits. I have always believed it was coming 2023, personally. And I think I've said that from the beginning. I did not believe that it was coming 2021 at all.
Yeah.
And I thought 22 was pushing it
that.
anyway. Yeah. No one believed it. No one in their right mind believed that.
It's like 2021, and everyone collectively said, that's a lie. Uh-huh. They were like Maury Povich.
Nice,
They're like, and the lie detector test determined that was a lie.
They're like, oh, that's nice, sweetie. You know, it was clearly a lie. I didn't believe 2022, personally.
Yeah.
So I've always felt that it was coming 2023, probably early, like somewhere between like January and April, first quarter-ish. And if it comes before that, that'll be gravy. It's like a cherry on top. So I just think it's weird that Corey hasn't been honest about its timeline. That's the only thing that's not getting me. I always thought it was coming 23.
Yeah.
What about you? Because I know you've probably worked yourself up into believing it could come.
So this is the problem, right? I'm really, really clouded, right? Yeah. My judgment is clouded like Anakin right before he turned to the dark side. Right. Because I'm trying to think of ways to make it work because I want it to work.
Yeah.
But then there's all these little things. I'm like, okay, why wouldn't they have shown something on the God of War anniversary? It seems primed for it, right?
Thank you.
And everyone was waiting for it, so
That's
it's like,
the
why
time
miss
to
the
give
opportunity?
a release date or a 15-minute gameplay trailer. Horizon does this all the time.
And they knew it because they went and released a video talking about how they're working on the game and stuff like
It's
that.
not a surprise to them to find out that the 4-year anniversary might be a day to release it. You're
exactly
right.
right. So they knew that, but they didn't release it, which brings up question marks. The same question marks that I had for Starfield, and I'm still questioning it. But a couple of things happen. A couple of people, like developers and stuff, that have affirmed 2022. No, it's coming 2022. And then recently they changed their bio on the Sony Santa Monica's Twitter header to say coming 2022. So they've added that. It's like almost putting another stamp down on it. And I'm like, you keep bringing out all these reassurances.
Well, also, no one's asking you for it. You're doing these things on your own.
Voluntarily.
Yeah.
Voluntarily.
That's the bit that's going to sting. And
if they turn around and be like, well, actually, it's 2023. So why did you do all of this?
Why did you change it? Like the Twitter bio, for example. Only people that are paying attention, that want to see it,
refresh, right,
are paying attention to that. That's not a statement. You put out a statement, you speak to journalists, say this is our official thing. Yeah. Changing that is very much an in-house decision. Like, we're going to do it because we're committed to this. For why?
Yeah.
If you don't make, look, I'll be honest. I always thought early 23. However, that's not going to stop me being wound up when they don't hit 2022 because they've been saying it constantly.
Yeah, and also it hurts much more because
we trusted you.
While we didn't believe 2021, that's them saying 2021. Yeah. So if you say 2021 and you hit 2022, delays happen, that's kind of a thing, whatever number we get you. But if you say 2021, actually it's not 2021, it's 2022, but actually it's not 2022, it's actually 2023, then it's like you tried to fool us and it's blatantly obvious. We knew it before, but now we really know it, and now you're a dickhead. That's
and
what
also,
it is.
22 is the right time.
Yeah.
It's the right, physically time passing, So, like, the reason God of War took as long as it did is they had to create a bunch of that stuff from the ground up.
Yeah,
but the actual game, everything was brand new, including like the camera tech and all of that stuff, brainstorming the story, the characters, everything. This game, realistically, to make this game is going to take less than 5 years because they have dirty bastards assets to reuse.
Filthy. Can't believe it. In 2022 developers are still being this lazy.
You're right. I think they should go back, new engine, design from the ground up in a new language they've designed.
We said it. They should just dismantle their PCs after every single game.
That's right.
Incinerate them, build them from scratch,
build a
install
new language,
all the OS and the drivers in a new language.
Games are all coded in C++. Well, we're doing C times. Like C times
Invent
2.
a new coding language. Yeah. Just to make
then build a new engine and then start all over from scratch. Because obviously, Atreus' actor, he's grown, so you need a whole new mocap.
Oh, straight. Yeah.
Can't reuse any assets. Can't just make those models jump. So they both got to jump into that styrofoam boat again.
Yeah.
Even if they do it identically, Christopher Judge probably moves differently now that he's had his hip surgery, right?
Exactly.
And we want Kratos to look like 50-plus-year-old Christopher Judge, not
with a double hip surgery.
Yeah. Not God of War Kratos, So it was freaking ridiculous. So the timeline fit for 2022. Again, I never personally believed it, but they've been saying it. What? I'm gonna hold them accountable.
Yeah, it's their choice to do all of this stuff. And,
also, if it comes out on like December 30th. I'm not calling that 2022. I'm saying you missed your deadline. Also, if you miss Christmas, imagine getting it in before New Year's, but you miss Christmas.
It's like, all those Christmas sales are gone, but we got it in the year, right?
That's the thing. To make Christmas, you got to release in November. Do you think it's coming in November? That's 4 months away, 5 months away.
I am still at my final point. You say you think it's going to creep into 2023, yeah? I do think it's going to come out 2022 because I'm a fucking idiot. Okay?
You really are stupid.
Bro, this is the True Gamer Podcast.
That's right.
Coming to everyone's eyes and ears every Saturday here on youtube.com/Conbrosations. One. And podcast services around the world. You can find us everywhere. I said rolled there.
Yes, you did. I was like, just let him go. Just let him go.
Around the world. You can find us anywhere by searching for True Gamer Podcast, and you'll get us to your eyes or your ears, depending on where you're watching or listening.
Yes.
If you guys like what we do here, if you really like what we do here on YouTube, you can hit that subscribe button, hit the like button as well to show your appreciation for the show, and hit that notification bell, because sometimes YouTube will tell you that we've posted a video. Sometimes. And if you really like what we do and you're an audio virgin, then you can head over to Spotify and Apple Podcasts and rate us 5 stars and give us a little review there, because it's really awesome. We like to feel good about ourselves, and it helps us raise up those ranks.
It does help
there.
a lot. What if, though, they wanted, like, credit, let's say? Like, they wanted to be noticed.
If they want to be noticed, like, notice me, senpai, notice that guy.
Weeb!
Oh no, I've been outed as a weeb.
Anime Club confirmed! Season 2 is coming 2022!
Save me, somebody.
Mate,
save
we'll put it on
me.
1.5x time speed. You know, you skip the intro, you skip the outro, you cut out the middle, you cut out the recap. It's like 5 minutes an episode. It's amazing.
Please remind me about that in the Conbrosations podcast. I have something to say.
You told me to remind you about that. I totally forgot this was organic.
Yeah, if you guys want to go the extra mile, if you guys want to be noticed, if you guys want to have your support recognized, you can head over to patreon.com/Conbrosations and kick us a couple of bucks a month. At the $1, you get the Conbrosations podcast we were just talking about that we're going to record today. At the $5 mark, you get this podcast the day it's recorded, early access for you guys before the plebs get it on Saturday.
That's right.
And you get your name read out as a true gamer supporter, just like these great people right here, which is Audio Verge he's like, nah, I don't know about that one. Which is the true gamers are Adam the High Quality Potato, Jeremy Horde, Sheps' Crusty Right Nut, Isak Manny, Adam the Banana Ghoul Simp, Clark 53, Cats Coral, Sab2557, Kevin Crow, Joe McCormack, Random Wavelength, Diogo, hashtag Make the Nice Guys 2, please, for the love of holy fuck Hollywood. Gams True Gamer Master, Gerald Tucker, Enraged Seahawk of Seattle, Fishy, The Jackal, Mikey T, Max H, Make Bindis Mod, Cobra SS, Sam Mason, and Albie Scory. Thank you guys so much for keeping the lights and mics on and the gaming going here at Conversation. Right. However, guys, if you don't want to kick us a couple of bucks, if you don't have the money, or if you just think we're just not worth it, but you want to be here and listen to the free shit, totally fine, bro.
Yeah.
Anything you guys do, just be in here, watching, listening, liking the video.
Liking the video helps a lot. Leaving an engaging comment and Alpha Aquila. The words an engaging comment don't freaking count.
And YouTube's like,
you little
he
shit.
left an engaging comment. We can't.
You little shit.
An engaging comment. Yeah, that really helps us out. We appreciate your support that way as well. Thank you so much, guys.
Now,
yes,
onto my favorite segment, never forgotten. I assume we have corrections because we're idiots. Look, if you're new around here, we say things on the internet, and we've never let pesky things like facts or information get in the way of a strongly held belief. So when we say something stupid, all you need to do is find the timestamp, go down into the comment section and go,
at 15 minutes and 78 seconds, and you said it was this, it was actually that.
And then next week we will read out your comment and credit you. And that is how we abuse the YouTube algorithm, or at least attempt to. Do we have any crackers? Probably not, because our brains are so fucking big and wrinkly.
it's all just bullshit, really. I mean, again, Runic Firebird. This guy fucking.
Runic Firebird's freaking been on fire with these recently, and it's been savage.
Correcting Combros, he says, once again, I have a correction for you. Your DC knowledge, as per usual. Says, but this time it's not for Sheps. Eddie, you got. Did I
Finally!
Eddie, you called Blue Beetle's name Jamie Rees. It's actually pronounced Jaime Reyes. Reyes. Okay, because he is, I think he's Mexican or Spanish. Something else.
I don't freaking know.
I think I know that because because of one episode of Smallville, I saw the guy in the anyway.
Okay.
Because of his cultural background, and thank you, Sheps, for agreeing that the Dark Knight trilogy is shit, and that we would get a Shazam game before Superman. There you go. So
Yeah, I mean, it's what people want. If anybody is going to fly around with like super speed, some sort of energy weapon, being functionally like made of, I don't know, some sort of metal, let's say brass or bronze or iron, steel seems a bit much, then I would think Shazam would be the way to go, because you've got that really intriguing alter the secret identity, you know. Yeah, I was gonna say.
Sean writes in, he says, not really a correction, but something to add. Eddie, you forgot about the Indiana Jones game, which is being developed by Machine Games, one of the two only good studios at Bethesda, the other being id Software. And if we're going to see that at the Bethesda Showcase, because we was talking about what we're going to see at Bethesda Showcase. I'm looking forward to that. However, just knowing how Xbox works, I bet we don't see it this time.
Yeah, I actually agree with you. It's a game that I'm kind of like interested to see more about, because there's never been a series, say like on PlayStation, where you go around like ancient ruins collecting artifacts, either
or on third parties publishers as well.
Right, exactly. Neither regardless of the gender. I mean, we know female protagonists don't sell thanks to Ubisoft, but a female protagonist one, a male protagonist one. I just don't see anybody being able to build an incredible franchise like that without the name Indiana Jones. And as we know, adding the name Indiana Jones and ideally Harrison Ford into a movie can only make it better. So were you to take a series past that golden number of 3 and potentially make, I don't know, a 4th Indiana Jones movie, never been done before, but were you to do it, it could only be a success. Because as we know, adding just those words Indiana Jones,
maybe they can get Shia LaBeouf and put him in there. It'd be great.
That's the way
Everyone
to
loves
do
him.
it.
Everyone loves him.
That's the way to do it.
Do it.
Do it. Just do it.
I honestly, I'm interested to see Indiana Jones, but I do think it's just waiting to fail. Because Indiana Jones isn't good because of the movie necessarily. It's good because of Harrison Ford. And you're not going to get Harrison Ford for the game. No. So why are we even talking? So I don't even know what to... Also, I don't really understand.
When Uncharted came out, it was new. It didn't have anything to live up to. This has 3 movies, because I never made that 4th one I was talking about. 3 incredible movies.
Yeah.
That it's going to be judged against to start.
Yeah.
And then it's got to be a good game in and of itself. So even if it slaps, but just doesn't compare to the movies, it's going to flop. This was a
disaster waiting to happen.
It has many pitfalls, but Indiana Jones knows how to defeat those.
Exactly.
And as we know, Microsoft has the money, so of course it'll be good.
Of course, there's no failure. There's no failure here. Anyway, that's all the correcting conversations. Remember, if we say anything wrong, write it down in the comment section. Read it out in the next episode. Okay. All right, let's move on to our next topic.
Yeah, boy.
PlayStation Plus is launching in about a month's time, depending on what region of the world you're in. And
I don't get why they do that, by the way. It's so stupid.
I don't get it. And it's like, you think, probably the Western world will be first. No, it's going to be Japan first.
Of course, it's always Japan first.
And they've updated their games list of things that you're going to be able to play on this service. For some reason, they've only released about 119 games out of the 740 that they were thing.
So that's important for the record. Because 119, that sounds like a lot.
Yeah.
Except that they pitched almost 1,000.
Yeah. So it's like 16% of the actual amount that's going to be coming. Right. We're like a month away. Do you want to maybe give us a bit more? If they said, we give you 600 now, I'd be like, yeah, that's cool.
Okay.
Give us the rest whenever you think. We'll see when that happens. Right. Anyway, we've announced some of the games, and some of those games, so 80 of them are PS4 and PS5 games. 9 of them are PS1 games. 1 PSP game. And then 29 PS3 games, and no mention of any PS2 games on there.
Very strange, because PS1, I thought would have a fairly large cohort. PS2, largely regarded to potentially be one of the best games, consoles of all time, with the greatest collection of games of all time. Like, adjusting for age, obviously the games are better now, but like at the time, with, I think it's like 2,000 games on that thing. And was it 20? No.
0 for PS2.
That blows me away.
9 for PS1, 1 PSP, and 29 PS3 games.
Who cares about the PS2 games? What's on PS3 that you care about?
Let me read through some of the games that are good, because I didn't write them all down. I was like, let me just pick out good ones, because if I go through 119 games, it's going to take forever. So the games that I thought were worth mentioning from the PS4 and PS5 list, Bloodborne is on there, Days Gone, Death Stranding Director's Cut, Demon Souls, Ghost of Tsushima Director's Cut, God
Nice.
of War, Knack, but no Knack 2. Fortunately, guys, we're going to have an incomplete set right then. Horizon Zero Dawn, Spider-Man PS4, Spider-Man Miles Morales, Returnal, The Last of Us Remastered, not Last of Us 2 for some reason.
That's weird. But
I thought it would have been old enough to be on there. And Uncharted 4. That's from first parties. From third parties, Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
I'm not getting it. Count me out.
Honestly, if you have the service and you're getting it for no extra cost, I still don't recommend it.
I'm literally never touching it. Yeah.
Batman Arkham Knight, Control the Ultimate Edition. Really good right there.
Control's really good.
Yep. Far
Control's a lot
Cry
of fun.
3 and 4, Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy,
A banger.
our game of the year for 2021.
It was
Go
actually
play that
very
shit.
good. Yeah.
Hollow Knight, Red Dead Redemption 2. No point in playing that, really.
What's the point? You just get tuberculosis. Who cares?
Who cares?
You get
know?
sick.
South Park, Fractured But Whole,
That's good fun, by the way.
and oddly, The Division. Not Division 2.
Wait. I thought you were like The Division, the new one.
The Division.
What?
Anyway, that's all included on the extra tier. So not the very first tier, the middle tier. That's like $100 for the year or something like that. I think extremely good value.
I'd say so too, yeah.
Just the PlayStation Studios games on there, incredible value for that price. With that being said, for us and for the hardcores, I've played all of these games. I have all of these games.
Nothing I'm particularly interested in.
I don't need this service.
Nothing in there that I'd be interested in
Yeah.
isn't on the PS Plus collection anyway.
Yeah.
But if it's your first PlayStation,
Yes.
it's a really good way in. The other thing though, if PS5 is your first PlayStation, like the PS Plus collection alone will keep you busy for a long time, and you don't need to pay a penny for it. And that's how I recommend you start on PlayStation.
Yeah.
Maybe get. There are some newer games you might want to check out. Ghost of Tsushima's worth it. I think.
That's the thing. I feel like if you go for this like 1 month subscription, or if you
Yeah.
want to go for the whole year, I think it's worth it anyway. But even that,
Actually, wait till November.
Death
There might
Stranding,
be
Bloodborne,
there's
God of
probably
War.
there's probably going to be a Black Friday sale in November. So wait for that, and you'll pick it up cheap. That's what I'm going to get it because I'm a shill. So I'll get it. But wait for then.
I wonder if they'll do it for this. Because it's like a current
Especially it's the
service.
first year though.
Yeah.
To get more people on it.
Maybe, yeah. Anyway, I do think it's good.
Yeah.
To be fair, we're judging this because this is supposed to be a Game Pass competitor, right?
Yeah.
We're judging it differently because we don't judge Game Pass for what's already on there. We judge it for the new thing that comes next month, right? So it's like, oh, Outriders is day one release on Game Pass. You're like, cool. That's a big get.
Yeah.
So when this service continues to go, and then we see the next third party,
It will have to be a game
whatever it is.
migrating onto the service because it's not getting day of release games.
Well, it's not going to get day of release game for first party, we
Yeah.
know. But
First
PlayStation
party, yeah.
now has had third party games that come day one as well.
I think that's a terrible move for the devs.
Well, this is the thing. It's their decision at the end of the day. I don't agree with it personally, but the people that at least are on PlayStation who aren't about subscription services are used to buying games.
Yeah.
They want to buy games, and that's the way it is on PlayStation.
But,
So
I mean, we heard
they
from
should continue.
Yeah.
They should continue.
We heard from the creator of Abe's Odyssey,
Yes.
and he was, well, I think he had unrealistic expectations.
It's like, but 4 million people downloaded it, but no one bought it. It's like, because nobody
for everybody that was interested got it for free.
Exactly, and your market was probably pretty small anyway.
It was niche.
You were
I
gonna-
love those games as a kid. Have no interest in playing it now.
You're going to sell like 10,000 copies, max.
Right. Yeah. I think 10 to 50k
Yeah.
would have been reasonable. If you don't know, the guy that made this game, it's not worth Googling, probably. And if it were worth Googling, you'd already know it. He made this game. It's an old name. And basically didn't have the money to complete it. PlayStation came to him with the offer for it to go on day of release for free on the service, which he took, and he admitted, I probably couldn't have got it made without that money. Except that he then no one bought the game, and he was really displeased or disheartened by that. However, we estimated, the estimate was, and I think it's reasonable, somewhere in that like 10 to 50,000 people probably would have bought the game. In this space, nothing.
Yeah.
And instead 4 million people downloaded the game, but no one paid for it.
Yeah.
And so that's where he was. Now, I don't see what the confusion is here personally. Like,
I don't as well, because like he said, he wouldn't have had the game wouldn't have been made without that money.
Right.
And in the end, nobody would have bought it. So it's like,
yeah,
you got the game made,
right.
so it's guaranteed, and you got your name out there, and you got like your creative vision out there, you got your product out there.
My next
So
move
why
would
are
be
you-
to go and get money and say, look, the last game I made
4
got 4
million
million downloads. That's impressive. That will get you
Yeah.
money. Anyway, it's one of those things.
Anyway, so we'll see how this works out in the future.
Yeah.
I do have it's up to them at the end of the day. Like the reason why
I think Day of Release sucks.
I do think Day of Release sucks. I think the way that Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy did it best.
Yes.
Where they release first of all, the game sells how it sells, and then maybe
Take the
possibly
payout.
it comes out on a service. Not guaranteed, but if the people want to wait, they want to wait. That's
agree.
cool, and that's how it worked
I
out.
agree.
And
And I think that was a good move.
I think it was a good move as well, and they get that cash influx as well.
They
Where
get
they're
a
like,
double
cool.
bump. Yeah.
You get, hey, here's money from
They
Game Pass,
basic-
here's money from PlayStation.
I think
Plus,
what
that's
they
cool.
that's an interesting one because they got obviously the day one sales on PlayStation and I guess maybe Nintendo wherever it released because nobody buys anything on Xbox. So they got one sale from that one random on Xbox and like thousands and millions from us. And then they got a second day of release by taking the pay and putting it on Game Pass.
Yeah.
And another boost and more people talking about it, more internet presence, which by the way, however you get access to it, worth playing.
Yeah.
It was surprisingly good fun.
Really good game. All right. We already said for us, this isn't a service that really works for us. We've got all these games, we've played all these games, and even if we haven't finished them, we still got the game. We don't need the service.
Correct.
As a person who hasn't played these games, how do you feel about the little games that we've seen so far on here?
That was a $14.99, was it?
I'm going to double check so I have my numbers correct over here.
I think that's correct for that tier.
PS Plus tier.
Just to double check so I don't want to...
Price. Yeah, so we don't say anything out of 10.
Yeah.
So, 2 days ago. This is the right one. Okay, so the PlayStation, I'm going to do the extra tier, which is the one where all those games come in there. The monthly price is £10.99 and $14.99.
Right.
And then for the yearly price, it's $100 and £83.
Let's use
for
the dollar amount as for everybody.
do
Same in
dollar.
euros, same in pounds.
$100 and $15 a month.
100 or 15 a month.
Yeah.
I think at either one of those price points, the games that are on there are worth it.
Yeah.
So let's say you did the 100 for the year. For that money, Ghost of Tsushima, not my thing yet, at least the Bloodborne and Demon Souls games, both of those Spider-Man games, The Last of Us Remastered, those alone, you've made money functionally, because I would still, if I didn't have those games, I would go out and buy them, and if they were at their full price, I would still pay full price for those games.
Yeah.
So I think it's worth it.
I mean, for Knack alone, Jesus Christ.
Oh, I didn't even need to say it. It was so obvious. I will say as well, so for people that haven't played it, first check out the PS Plus collection.
Yeah.
There are the best game ever made, in our opinion, is on there, and a bunch of other games that will keep you busy for free. And then I would also wait to see if there's a Black Friday sale, because you'll have stuff to play until then. And then, I do think it's worth the money.
I think it is. I think this is extremely worth it. There is, and the thing is, you need to think about it as well, is that this is a very incomplete list. This is only 16% of the pitched games that they said was coming. Now, there is still the discussion of whether or not this is a viable service. And I think it brings up the possibility of it being viable just by taking out those day one releases there.
Yeah.
But I am super interested to see how quickly games come to this service. I mean, for example,
That's going to be the interesting.
If you're a premium subscriber, you get the game trials, and they also detail on here what games you can try for free for those couple of hours. Horizon Forbidden West is on here, which released in February, was that right? April, something like that.
Something like that.
So it's been a couple of months and that hasn't come on there. But Uncharted Legacy of Thieves, when did that come out?
Recently.
It was fairly recently. I'm going to check for an exact date quickly.
Just to talk about the price, Ghost of Tsushima, the base edition, is $35.99 right now, and the director's cut is $53.60. Over £50. That alone is half the price. It's the director's cut that's on there, isn't it?
Yeah, director's cut. Yeah.
So that's half the price if you were to buy the game new, half the price of the year of that service, plus extra games coming and stuff. So, yeah, I think it's well priced. I think it's totally worth it, and that game is fantastic. Plus God of War, plus Horizon, Spider-Man for PS4, Spider-Man Miles Morales, Demon's Souls, Bloodborne, all of that stuff, and of course, Knack, of course, obviously.
Of course, come on now.
Goes without saying. It's so obvious.
January 28th, so a good 5 months.
Yeah.
And that still hasn't come to the service.
Yeah.
So we're looking at 5 months plus, probably around about the 1 year mark, maybe even more than that. We're looking to come
We
to
also
service.
spoke about that before. We said about a year makes sense to us.
Yeah, each one will probably be its own case by case thing,
Yeah.
but around about that time, which adds to the viability of this because you still get the day one sales so it's not cannibalized straight away.
Yeah.
And then you get the people that are on the service who are comfortable waiting for a sale or whatever it might be.
Also, the people that are going to wait and buy, this would be what Game Pass was on about, but it doesn't work out that way because of the way that the games come to it, in my opinion, is that if someone goes, okay, well, I'll get the service for when the game comes to this that I haven't played, right? And then it's 15 for the month. That's the more profitable model for them because that should be 175 for the year, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, 150, 165, 170. No, 180.
Oh, 180, yeah.
Yeah, 180 is what it should be for the year. They're giving it to you for 100, which means it's actually more profitable for them if you do it monthly. So that's still a good thing.
Yeah.
So also it's pretty good value, man, I think. But again, not a service that I'm going to be too excited about because I've probably played most of these games and I probably got them early enough.
Yeah.
You know,
I have the subscription now because I had PlayStation Now just to try out. And it continues until the end of my PlayStation Plus subscription. I might keep the extra tier just to be like, okay, if a game comes out that maybe I wasn't too interested in when it comes to the service and whatnot, I'll check it out just because it's included in my subscription. Yeah. But this service isn't for me. The service isn't for me, and it's not something that I'd be interested in. Now, I am interested to see more about the classic games because I'd love to go back into the old days.
I mean,
play
if
a
Hit
Simpsons
and Run comes on
exactly.
There. Yeah.
Simpsons Hit and Run. First thing I was thinking of. I just want that game back, but they haven't mentioned any of that, which is really kind of that's what we were really looking for, right?
I'll 100% play Simpsons Hit and Run with you.
Reese writes in and he says the new PS Plus games are looking good, got some bangers including a lot of last gen's big exclusives, so that's exciting, but I'm not seeing any PS2 games on the list. I'm not sure if I've missed something or if I've misunderstood the original announcement. Guess I'll wait and see when the service releases. No, you're not missing anything, bro.
And you didn't misunderstand.
They just haven't shown it a lot of these games. I don't know why that is. It's very PlayStation only to show a fucking handful of the games.
If they've got 29 PS3 titles on there, the PS2 is not a problem.
Right.
The PS3 is notoriously difficult.
Diogo writes in, he goes, in regards to the PlayStation Plus games, good selection of PS4 and PS5 games, but where are the PS2 titles? I hear that the PS Classic remasters I hear that the PS Classic remasters have PS2 games in there, like the Jack games, but anything else super lacking when there's a gen I played the most and arguably the best PS gen of the generations.
Yeah.
I'm with you, bro. How could they have just? They didn't even need to say all of them, but they just showed 0.
It's weird.
It's so strange. It makes me think there's something up, but I also know how PlayStation is, and I bet they just didn't announce it. And you get when the service comes out, it's like,
Don't forget,
you're
talking about a nation that has vending machines full of like worn underwear, next to it. Look, there are vending machines of just sparkling water in Japan. Psychopaths.
Who drinks sparkling water?
Sushi from a vending machine.
I wouldn't trust it. Oh, actually, do you know what's really funny? I saw a
it's probably fantastic.
I saw oddly satisfying post. And I saw it and I was like, this is mildly infuriating, not satisfying. It was in Japan. There was a vending machine and it had a little like paper tag of like a Coke bottle. You take the paper tag, you go over to the cashier.
Yeah.
You give it to the cashier and the cashier goes, hit the button on the screen. Hits the button on the screen, person pays for it, gets a little slip out of it, goes back to the vending machine, scans it, and then a Coke can comes out.
Yeah.
And I'm like, we have the perfect solution where the card machine is on the vending machine. You just pay and then get your drink.
You press the number that you want, and that's how it knows what to give you.
And I was
And
like,
then you give it money and it gives you
what
the
was
product.
the Coke bottle piece of paper thing that you handed to the thing? The cashier didn't do anything with that. She just took it and then put it behind the counter. I was like,
Yeah,
what was that for?
There are 14 steps. This was a one-step process. You've added steps, which it needed to be 3, and you made an extra like 10.
The only thing about it is that it was a super clean store. And I was like, that didn't
Okay.
make it any better.
Yeah, that's not doing it. For
Great,
me.
it wasn't covered in urine, but what?
Right.
So,
Like it's a strange place, man.
very
It's a
strange,
strange
place.
place.
Anyway, so there is something interesting about this.
Okay.
And I mean, I didn't realize until Xbox announced their showcase. The release date is super smart. So the 13th of June is when it launches in North America.
Okay.
It launches on the 23rd for us commoners in Europe and Australia and New
Yeah.
Zealand.
Look, this bugs the shit out of me. 24 hours, I would understand, right? Time zones for like data centers to come online and stuff like that. That makes sense to me. 48 hours, somewhere in the middle of the week where people are working. That makes sense to me.
10 days?
A bit business day. So like if it launched on a Friday and actually comes out on a Monday because there was a weekend,
Yeah.
that would make sense.
Yeah.
We're up to what's over 72. It's many hours.
many, many hours.
It's 94 hours. Maths. it's that's 4 days, and I would get it. 10?
yeah, 10 days.
2 weeks basically. What? Why? Why?
I don't get that part. But it launching in North America on the 13th of June is the day after the Bethesda showcase.
Oh no.
So it's almost like, because I mean, Xbox don't have anything to give.
Yeah.
It's not like they're going to
Yeah,
announce
yeah.
something and they'll be like, cool, we're looking forward to this game we're going to play
Never.
in a year's time. Like, you know, and then PlayStation come out with their service and it's going to be like, guys, if you're interested in the service, if you're a
Yeah.
service kind of guy, here's the service right now. Go play anything you want. The next day, it's literally going to be, oh my God, I'm finally playing
Yeah.
X, Y, and Z. I'm finally doing this. This is going to be a great
The
thing.
other thing is that even if there's a massive handful of announcements, it's not going to dent them too bad anyway, because a bunch of those guys that are super excited for those announcements probably aren't that excited for the PlayStation thing. But if they're disappointed, they might be looking to jump ship.
Yeah,
So there's like very little risk and a very high potential reward.
it's worked out really well for them. Really well for them.
Yeah, that's
But yeah, that's the PlayStation Plus service. Like we said, not for us.
Not for us.
But I think it represents a lot of good value. At least the value that
Yeah.
for people who are into subscription services, who haven't
Yeah.
purchased these games already. If you're looking for a service that just has tons of content,
I'll say
I think
as an
this is very
example.
good.
As an example, if Elden Ring just tickles me, and I really just get into it, then that will be the way I pick up the rest of the that style of game, the Souls type games, because there's only 1 or 2 on the PS Plus collection. It's just
Bloodborne's on there.
is it Bloodborne?
Yeah.
I thought it was Demon Souls 3 or something. Anyway, the whole
Oh, no,
collection.
Team Souls 3 might be on
I think
there,
it is on
actually.
there.
Whatever.
But the rest of them are there.
Yeah.
That's how I would do that if I was looking to go back and play those games. I don't think I'm looking to go that far back. Probably what's on the PS Plus collection will do me. And again, for anybody interested in the service, if let's say you get a PS5 today, play the PS Plus collection first and wait and see if there's a November sale. If there's not, pick it up. You can probably get it cheaper, and that's what I'd recommend doing it, because at the end of the day, Sony is a soulless, heartless corporation that will sell you down the river the second they think it's more profitable. So do you, boo?
Yeah, so that's the situation with that. Let
Yeah.
us know in the comment section if you're tickled by this this service right here. We'll see how that goes. The next topic. Multiple Silent Hill projects are currently in development, sources have told VGC, including a remake, a full sequel, and a story-focused episodic series of Silent Hill games.
Okay.
And I just want to speak on that last part. I've always found episodic games kind of really interesting, but they've never been done with something that I've been particularly interested to play. Like Walking Dead, I'm like,
Yeah.
Batman, he's a terrible hero. We don't care.
Nobody
about Batman.
cares.
Nobody
He hasn't even got
about
superpowers. Yeah, he's rich, but like so's Elon Musk.
him. Exactly. Who cares, right? And I've always wanted to try. I think it'd be cool because what we do with like Streamcast, where everyone gets round and we all talk about a game, or we all talk about a movie and whatnot. That would be really cool to do week by week. And in video game form, the best form of entertainment.
Right.
I think there's potential there. It's just never been done with an IP that I particularly care about. So yeah.
Are you a big Silent Hills fan?
Not a massive Silent Hills fan, but I do like the kind of horror that comes with Silent Hill. It's pure, just fucking shaking you to your core type horror, and there's something respectable about that.
For the record, I can see why people dig it. Like PT.
Yeah.
If you even play it in the same room as me, I'll start throwing hands. PT. No, not doing it. But I'm glad that, I guess that it's coming out. But I will say, I feel like the whole Hassan Kulaman thing has kind of dampened this news, where we've been thinking and wanting and talking about this stuff for so long now, that like, regardless of whether or not he's even involved, the hype for Silent Hill, to me, because it's already up there, it started to like come back down. Whereas if this had been the first news, 3 new Silent Hill games, people will be blowing up.
Did you hear about what happened with Hassan Kuraman?
Maybe.
Apparently, it's been definitively proved now that it was all a scam. That he was all involved with the teasing that it was Silent Hill and that Hideo Kojima was involved.
He was scamming.
He was scamming. He doesn't have a proper game set out. He's coming up with it as he goes along.
Right.
He knows a little bit about game development, so he's going to make something, but it's all just a scam. Like there's no pot of gold at the end of this rainbow. He's just making it up as he goes along. Apparently, he even posted under like a fake name a picture, and then put Silent Hills at the bottom of it to be like, oh, it is actually Hideo Kojima to draw more attention to him. Apparently, it's actually just all a full-on fucking scam.
I can believe that the guy is a scammer. I'm not saying that he is for legal reasons, but I can fully believe it because there's so many weird, questionable things that he has managed to achieve, which obviously didn't go anywhere because that's the thing with scams is there's no content.
Yeah.
It's just a really pretty cover. You open up the game case and it's
there.
like, oh look, it's Elden Ring. Click, no, it's Cyberpunk.
Yeah.
You know. And the fact that he managed to get like a game up on the PSN store, but no one downloaded it and it wasn't available, but it was up there, says that he's probably able to con people into stuff, and then the second they realise they've been conned, it drops. So, just a weird dude.
Very weird.
A cool
dude.
conspiracy though, and I love the way the internet run with it. But what bugs me is that he planted it all, which weirdly would make him a freaking genius if it was all fully planned. Then why isn't he just making the game if he's that good?
Yeah.
Why not just make a game?
Divert all of that energy and all of that thought power into making a fucking game.
Right. Weird, isn't it?
Could have been something, but instead you're just fucking with everyone and now you're the most hated person on the internet.
What a loser.
The way that this all came about, this information about Silent Hill being remade and stuff like that came about was some pictures of either the sequel or the remake of Silent Hill was posted online, and Konami themselves, DMCA, took them down. So when they themselves come in to do it, that essentially confirms it's legitimate, right?
Yeah.
And everyone got excited about that. Now, here's where it gets interesting, right? Especially for us PlayStation fans.
Okay.
The leaked images were either of the remake or a sequel or whatever it might be. And is apparently being developed by a development house called Bloober Team. Bloober Team were the guys that made The Medium.
Yeah.
So they've got like a horror background, so it kind of fits, right?
That was probably the only interesting project that Xbox had coming out for a while before Halo, and unfortunately it didn't. Well, that's one thing, it didn't seem to really pop.
It didn't seem to really pop, so who knows whether or not that means...
But they have experience, and they actually have made a game. Hassan.
Anyway, I don't know what that was, but I'm
it's like a reverse Salt Bay.
What's the thing guy with the card in the
Gambit.
X menu? Gambit. I'm just throwing a card at you. I was saying. Anyway, he. So that came out. Apparently, they're going to be making it now. If that is true, Bloober Team recently announced that they have entered a quote-unquote significant licensing and distribution agreement with Sony Interactive Entertainment LLC.
Okay.
Which means
confirmed.
One of these games likely to be a PlayStation exclusive.
I hate it, but big get. Although the problem is, what if it's like a minor thing? What if it's sort of like not DLC, but something along
this
those.
is the thing. It could be. If Bloober Team is working on, it could be a DLC. It could be timed exclusive as well. You never know.
Yeah.
But if it's the remake, at least it's something that's been proven that people have liked before.
Yeah.
So that's cool.
I was going to say it's hard to mess up a remake, but we've seen it done before.
Exactly. If it's a sequel, you can always mess up a sequel, but you can't go in with the negative thought. You got to be thinking, okay, it's been more of a great stuff, right? If it's the episodic series, it's changing the formula quite a lot.
Yeah.
So there's potential to go bad there, but
Well,
still
also
exciting
potential
thought.
to hit like new heights, right?
Exactly.
Or try something out. And the Walking Dead stuff is very popular.
Yeah, I've heard
it's
it's
not for
popular.
me.
Not for me.
I don't like that style of the way that it's put out. For one,
I don't like the way it looks. That's what I don't like.
It looks weird.
The art design was weird.
Also, it's very like it's sort of like a text-based, almost choose your own ending sort of thing.
Yeah.
And I just don't vibe with that because, believe it or not, I can actually read. If I put a ruler under the words.
Cover that one,
Yeah.
and as I go along, I'm like,
Right.
Oh, I've just realised I'm doing it backwards. I'm doing it right to left when
It
words
always
are-
looks right on the camera though.
No wonder why I'm not reading things correctly. I'm reading it
No,
backwards.
this makes any freaking sense. Like I can read, so I would read, and I don't want to read. I want to play a video game. So why are you making me read?
Yeah.
Because I want to fight zombies or whatever,
Yeah.
So, but that seemed to be very popular.
Who knows?
Episodic would be cool if it's done right,
Yeah.
and also priced right, because that's going to be prone to disaster as well.
Yeah.
EA, you be like these guys.
I'm interested if the rumors are true. It's not. It's a get. It's part of business. Exclusive games do happen, and if it comes to PlayStation, it's just another reason to buy a PlayStation. If you like horror, that's something there.
Well, I was going to say, like, there is the possibility that, like, Elder Scrolls and stuff goes exclusive. I think that would be a mistake, but I'm not so heavily invested in Elder Scrolls because it's been, like, 45 years.
Yeah.
So I'm not super heavily invested. But, and again, I think it would be a mistake because all the paying customers are over here. However, it would sort of even the playing fields a bit because we've been suspecting that something was going to be probably an older IP, something that's got weight to it because Microsoft desperately needs it at the minute. Then getting some Silent Hill like exclusive or timed exclusive here and at least evens things out a little bit better.
Yeah.
I would say.
Yeah. Speaking of remakes, our next topic. Rumors are that the Last of Us remake is actually finally coming, and it's coming this holiday.
Okay.
So along with God of War Ragnarok, which if it comes out this year is probably going to come out at the end of the year.
Okay.
As well as that, we're going to get The Last of Us Remake, a game that nobody asked to be remade.
No, and they already remastered it.
Already remastered, so it was available on PS3. They remastered it for the PS4. It's available to play on PS5 via backwards compatibility. The most accessible game out there is now being remade for the PlayStation 5.
Yeah.
As per no one's request.
Literally nuns of people. No.
However, I'm excited and I'll play it when it comes out.
Well, I was going to say, just because I think it's a terrible idea to do it, doesn't mean I'm not going to play it.
Play the shit out
One
of
of my
that game.
favorite games of all time. The question will be, because of course they're going to change things,
Yeah.
how much and what? Now, for me, I think the only real change you make is you add a couple more enemy types, because there are 4. You add verticality, and then you leave it alone.
Thing is, that affects... how
feel
much
like-
of the story does it affect?
I feel like you can get away with just without too much messing around. I think you can get away with that. You add a couple more enemy types, so just instead of like 4 clickers, it's like a clicker and a bloater or something. You balance that out,
Yeah.
and you add levels.
Yeah. Oh man, I'm scared every time I hear the word change the great thing.
The thing is, you know they're gonna.
Yeah,
you know they're going to.
You know they will.
So the question is, can we get them to feel like they've made a big enough impact that they've put their stamp on it? This is the game we always wanted to make without touching the game they actually made. You know? Because that is the thing. Also, I don't know about you, but I don't reshoot any of it.
No.
None of
If
the
you do
voice
that, you
acting,
fucked up.
nothing. The audio stuff stays the exact same. The mocap stays the exact same. Yeah, you can put new models on top of it, but like all of that base has to stay the same.
Recapturing lightning in a bottle.
You're gonna redo that opening scene.
Nah.
The chances of you getting that scene again.
I'm really interested in the reveal of this because
Yeah, it's one of my favorite games of all time. Where you kidding? I'm hyped as frick.
well, I'm interested because I'm like, what could possibly be different? Like, how different could it be? It feels like they're putting a big emphasis on this, right?
If they
They're like,
make it different, they're changing it completely.
Yeah, I don't-
right?
I
Right?
don't- I
Like
just-
it's not just me.
like, I don't know how good it's gonna look to the point where you're gonna be like, whoa,
Right.
this changes the whole thing. And it's like, so why did you call it a remake instead of a remaster?
Right.
Because it's like, so what's different about the actual? I'm interested to see what it looks like. I need to see it.
I
need to see it.
think if they're gonna do it and just it's graphical, call it a remake,
Yeah.
and it'll be hilarious, and I'll still buy it. I'll still buy it.
The remake is out now. That's
Yeah.
so dumb. Here's my credit card.
Right. Of course.
Where's my wallet? It's good.
Also, like, I don't know, but I feel like the game's so old now, and it's been ported so many times, that if it's just like an FPS boost,
Yeah.
and we know the PS5 is running some games up to 120 FPS, I don't think that OG game can handle that. It would need to be...
Also, like, is it neat? I mean, don't get me wrong.
I don't need it.
120 FPS is probably really good. I've not tried it yet. I've heard it's really, but especially in a story game like that, could you
Story
imagine?
game,
It's like
and
we've put a 120 FPS mode, guys, in The Last of
now
Us.
60 I love.
Yeah.
That's how I played The Last of Us 2. 60 FPS, it's smooth, it's brilliant. One, my TV can't handle 120 FPS. You know? So, already deal breaker for me.
Yeah.
And two, if the game's new and it can run at 120 FPS, I'm interested.
Yeah.
If it's from 2013 and was the last title on an OG, notoriously difficult console,
Yeah.
I don't know that I want that sort of same base. The problem is it running on that same skeleton or not? And if it is, then should it be? And if it isn't, why are you messing with it? So I don't know what...
Yeah, there's
I'm
so many weird questions for this.
Still going to get it, obviously.
Because we're Sony ponies, or because we're just really interested in the greatest
we need to
games
know.
ever. Yeah.
We need to know. Also, like, if they change it, does it change the playtime? One of the really interesting things about that game was that you could do it. You could do it in one sitting. I wouldn't recommend it. But it's like a 13-hour game.
Yeah.
Even I got it in under 20 hours.
Yeah.
And I explored every blade of freaking grass. You know?
And then all the countless bugs that you encountered, right?
Weirdly, on the PS3, almost none.
That's how great the cell processor was.
Oh, God, I hate that thing
Cell
so
processor.
much. So much. I just... Man, I'm worried about it. Worried.
I'm worried as well. I want to see what this is all about. That's going to be my. Apparently, there's rumors saying there's going to be a showcase on the 2nd of June.
That's pretty soon.
That'd be pretty cool, and I'll be here to see it. I'm sure that's when they'll show it. If it's coming out on
Yeah.
holiday, you think that's when
You'd
they'll
think
show it,
so.
right? Along with like God of War Ragnarok, maybe or something like
Yeah.
that. We'll see how that goes. I'm very interested to see what happens.
The thing that bugs me about this, I just clocked it. Ghost of Tsushima, the director's cut came out a year and a half after the game came out.
Yeah.
Which means it's the exact same team running the exact same stuff, just upgrading things. The base game in this is ancient. So it's not like a new update.
Yeah.
It's not a recent update. It's a massive change to obviously it's a remake, but like the more I think about it, the more I just see pitfalls in it. Like
Yeah.
it's just places for you to stumble at best or fall at worst.
Don't do it. Why did you do this, PlayStation? Why did you choose this?
Why?
Let's kick it. Let's do our next couple topics here. We've got 2 topics left. Should be fairly quick.
Cool.
One, Dead Space officially the remake has a release date.
Yeah.
It was revealed just by itself with no extra gameplay or anything like that. The January the 27th.
Yep.
2023. So next year, January,
Yep.
we should be playing this. But just like Microsoft, obviously delays happen because of the pandemic, and
Of course.
it's probably going to come out in April or something like that. That's I'm excited for it, especially because
Did you ever play the Dead Space games?
I did, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's the best jump scare horror
It's
game
great.
I've ever played.
It's great.
And I've seen they've released some clips of like
Yeah.
upgraded parts, and they show like the old, was it called the splicer, the gun, the medical gun,
I think that's it.
and how much better it looks. And I'm like, if this is indicative of how the rest of the game looks, it's gonna look fantastic.
Also,
So I'm
Isaac's
interested.
armor, like it being that weird mix of like sci-fi and steampunk, and like it's gritty because it's industrial, and like I'm looking forward to seeing it in new gen graphics. So
Me too. That's really awesome. So I hope you guys are looking forward to that.
weirdly, not worried about a remake for Dead Space, which could be done wrong because it was, like you say, the best jump scare type horror. But I feel like that's going to be easier to remake.
It's like adding atmosphere, like adding some smoke here, adding some
Right.
fog there, only increases it, right?
Detail to like enemies and your kit and stuff.
Yeah.
Whereas I do feel like there are significant problems with potentially redoing The Last of Us. So I don't know if that's just me being hypocritical.
What it is that despite everyone calling us a Sony pony, we're critical of things that actually deserve criticism.
Right,
That's what it is.
Yeah, I don't really care what it is.
Oh boy, but we do believe. I mean, EA could definitely fuck up.
Well, that's a
thing as
big
well.
problem, innit?
Yeah.
Those two letters right there.
I tell you what, we're adding microtransactions to it. So how did you add microtransactions?
The worst thing is for good armors, like forget stats, just 6 skins.
Okay, and the final point for today, apparently there's a new PlayStation 5 coming. PlayStation have registered for a new PlayStation 5 model, brand new model number. No details on what the hell it's all about. The last update that we got was the one with the new heatsink. And apparently it ran just a little bit cooler than the previous version. Apparently it overdid it with the previous one, whatever it is. But that's the old one. No information about this one. Now,
which, to be clear, it's not like the OG model needed it.
Exactly.
They just improved it because they're Japanese and they can't help themselves improving stuff.
Exactly. Just keep going. And obviously, I guess probably that it cost a little bit less as well because the
There was
heatsink was
something about
smaller
that,
and whatnot. Now, here's the interesting thing. We're about 2 years into this life cycle, coming up on 2 years, right? In December, it'll be 2 years.
It feels like 6 months, though.
It really does. People still can't get a PS5 right now.
True.
Some people obviously jumped the gun and they went straight away. They were like, you're making a new model. You could just divert all of those resources into making the current model so we can all actually just play a PlayStation 5. And it's not like games are ridiculously maxing out games right now. We're like, oh, the PlayStation 5 can't handle this, so we need to bring out a Pro.
Once.
Right?
Yeah.
Right? It's not like it's maxed out right now. We've got jet fans again from the PS4.
Also, all the tests are showing that these things can run way hotter, like not hotter, but like way higher performance than they currently are. Like they're not being stretched,
Now, there are rumors that there is a PS5 Pro coming.
Yeah.
And this could be that. We don't know. The reason why they could be bringing out a PS5 Pro sooner rather than later could be to actually help with the supply chain issues.
Yeah.
Do you remember I mentioned this one thing about if the 8 nanometer architecture that's on right now? 8 nanometer is literally the size of the dies or something like that they're casting, whatever it is. I'm not too technical, so I may get stuff wrong here.
Yeah, I think that's right.
It's like the size of the die on the big wafer that they make semiconductors and processors out of, right? Apparently, the PS5 Pro could be on a 6 nanometer,
That's
apologies,
right. 6.
which makes each die just a little bit smaller, which means you can fit more on a wafer.
At scale.
Which means you can produce more in total, which would help alleviate the stress of the semiconductor shortage. So maybe the reason why they're rushing out the PS5 Pro, bringing it out sooner rather than later, is just so they can sell more fucking units, so they can get more PS5s in people's hands. That makes sense in my mind. And then it kind of goes against, like, okay, we'll sacrifice a few years of maybe life that the PS5 had.
I don't think so.
Just to bring out more units for people to play. You not agree with that?
I will say, so I had my PS4 from literally day of release. We were there at midnight together.
Yeah.
All the way until the end.
Yeah, you did.
All the way until the end. And that thing was, at this point, the fans were kicking on. In this current lifestyle, we reckon consoles go for about somewhere in 6 to 8 years. When I said it feels like 6 months, it feels like the first 6 months. None of these games are stretching these legs. I feel like the hardware has another 2 or 3 years in it before it feels dated. Whereas when the PS4 Pro came out, that was a much needed update. It probably could have come out earlier. I don't see the need for a PS5 Pro in terms of like performance. In terms of like, oh man, the games are just way too technical and stuff. For like, I feel like in comparison to the last few generations, because we had a PS3 Pro as well.
Yeah.
I feel like my PS5 is going to go to the end of the generation just fine.
I don't think it's necessary in terms of performance either. I don't. But if it does mean that the
I'm
PS5,
not saying I'm not going to get one.
Yeah,
I'm just saying we don't need one.
If they do bring out a PS5 Pro, I'm an idiot and I always buy the newest tech stuff. And I'll buy it. But if it means that they can produce more units and they can get more out there, then I think it's a good idea.
Because it's not like they're going to stop producing PS5s.
Yeah.
So,
and even then, like the PS5s that they have sold, that people might sell them and they might go to someone else. And they get to have a PlayStation.
Also, hopefully, the freaking scalpers will lose their shirts.
Thank God.
Frick 'em.
That would be the best thing. That would be the best
Imagine that. And imagine like PS5 suddenly flooding the market at like cost or less.
thing. Yeah.
Because they just need their money back. And they've just waited so long and they can't hold out any longer without getting their money.
Yeah.
Frick 'em.
The only thing that makes me think that maybe a PS5 Pro is a kind of a bad idea is that you're supposed to be launching PlayStation VR 2 this year, you said, but I hope probably it's going to be like early next year.
Yeah.
You can't bring out two hardwares in the same year.
I agree.
You can't bring. I mean, don't get me wrong. They're different. They're different groups. People that are in VR, they probably want the latest tech, so they might buy the second one as well. But you can't ask $500 for a console and then $500 for a VR unit in the same year.
I agree.
Give people a fucking break.
I fully agree. I mean, the thing is, there are a bunch of people that would say, well, I need the PS5 Pro to run the VR. I feel like the PS5 is going to run it just fine.
It'd be fine. It'd be fine.
However, that is also what I would do, is go, well, I might as well get the Pro. If we're going to spend that much money on the VR, I might as well,
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like one of these has to skip a year. I don't see them both coming out. Also, is the PS5 Pro going to really be ready? I feel like we would have heard more about it.
That's the thing. We haven't seen any sort of like leaks or any sort of details, anything like that.
Yeah, these things always leak.
Right?
Always.
Who knows? Yeah, so maybe we're getting a new PS5 model. We'll see how that goes. Right there. That's all the topics that we have today. I'm gonna read through some people's comments. If you're a legend and you head over our Discord server, then you can write in and get in on the conversation that we have here. I'm gonna read out.
We asked about the worst gameplay mechanic.
I'm gonna leave that till after we. Sorry, man. After I go through what people said about some of the stuff we talk about, but there is a question afterwards. In general, Dead Space remake announcement. Okay, so Tailgate wrote in with a Dead Space remake release date announcement. He goes, "I'm really looking forward to this game. I got to play the original Dead Space trilogy. There was 3. What?
They only made 2. Definitely only 2.
Very
I feel like the
strange
third
idea.
one would ruin everything.
For the first time this year through Game Pass to prepare myself for the remake. It's crazy how well the old games hold up. One thing the remake is setting out to do is link the lore in one with the other games and expand on the universe stuff better than the original did. So that's interesting.
That's one point actually about really truly great games, is that somehow they all still hold up. Simpsons Hit and Run, that game's like 20 years old, still holds up. Halo still holds up. You didn't vibe with it, but Mass Effect, especially 2, still holds up. Dead Space still holds up. The Witcher 3, yeah, I know it's 2015, but that at this point is 7 years old. Holds up. God of War's 4 or 5 years old, and it's not old, but like it still holds up, and it will hold up in 10 years.
Yeah.
So it's just cool when people go back and go, those games are amazing. Like, yeah, because they're
That's how games used to
amazing.
be back in the day.
And crazy thing about Dead Space, when I got Dead Space 1, I just put it in and it was finished and it worked.
Long gone are those days, sir. Long gone. Cobra SS, our true gamer here, writes in and he says, Cobra 67, I should say, not SS. That's someone else. Briefly discussed this yesterday, but I don't understand all the rage over game delays. I find it hard to believe that so many people have completed all the games in existence. It's a fair point. So only have brand new games to look forward to. It's a shame if you're looking forward to if you're looking forward to. Oh, it's a shame if something you're looking forward to is delayed, but go and play something else instead of threatening someone's life or at least getting angry. That's a good point. You shouldn't threaten someone's life over a game delay.
I'm with you there.
Probably the least reason.
It's a very unreasonable thing to do.
Right.
I will say on the I haven't played every game out there, but there's only a handful of games I'm excited for. I'm generally excited for new stuff.
It's part of the hype cycle. There's a whole point. There's a whole reason why promotion is such a thing.
Yeah.
They get you excited for something and you want to play something new. And also the reason why we play new games is because we want to be in the discussion and talk about stuff. Not to say that I don't have a huge backlog. Now, getting angry over stuff, there's no excuse for it. It's a game, bruv. Calm the fuck down.
Exactly.
Now, what we discussed here today was also that Microsoft seemed to be consistently falling behind.
That's more about the business. And that's as a customer, sorry, bro, I totally cut you off.
No, you're good.
As customers, as people who enjoy games and the space, and it's, like we said, it's the best way, it's the best form of entertainment. It is. There are two real places that you go to, otherwise Nintendo for gaming stuff. But in this space, these two places, and one side is continually missing deadlines, and when what they do bring out is continually missing the mark, and the other side is generally getting within their window of release and generally producing bangers. And it's not that one side's better than the other, because ideally both would produce bangers on time. It's that if you're going to spend money, where is it that you get the most value for it? Because your money is freaking hard to come by, right? Especially now, everything's going through the roof. There is the pandemic. Everything shortages of everything. Bills are going up. Everything.
And what you have to do to get that money? The smoking poles. You're cleaning dishes.
Stripping ain't easy.
Exactly.
So, where do you spend it? Where you spend it's important. And it should be something that you should never feel like, man, I can't believe I wasted my money on that thing.
Yeah.
And that's what we're really saying is it seems to be that's going to be more likely on Xbox. Not because Sony is better or a better company or any of that stuff, but they're doing it better right now. And there was a time when Xbox was doing it better. Just that's the real thing. And the delays are because if you're really looking forward to something and it's the only thing you're looking forward to, if God of War was the only game you're looking forward to and it gets delayed, it's the only thing you wanted to play.
It's like a Tailgate where he said about he was looking forward to Starfield. He bought a Series S. The delay hurts him even more because he bought a console specifically to play that game. Yeah. And now it's been taken away from him, or at least he's been told, put that thing under your cabinet and let it collect dust for the next 6 months.
Right.
Or however long it's going to be.
If you think it's coming in 6 months, I got bad news for you, son.
I'd be rightfully annoyed by that as well, but yeah, at least don't go to death threats. Don't go to that far.
I understand the point of obviously, have you played everything out there? Of course not. But I don't know how many games.
I just thought of one thing as well, is that time is valuable.
Yeah.
I don't have a huge amount of time, especially around now with the house and things like that.
Yeah.
It will alleviate at some point, but time is valuable. And other people's time might be more valuable. They might not have the time to go into those old games. So maybe that when they want to dedicate their time to something brand new, something that's current, something they can talk with their friends about.
It's better.
Exactly, more modern. There's a lot of things, but I do understand your general point.
That's a good point, though. We've always said as well, you pay for our content, even if you're watching it for free. It's you pay with your time. And then the even more amazing guys give money and time. So you're paying twice. We really take that seriously. So why shouldn't these games,
Yeah.
Also, what if, just like that, you don't have very much time, but you're going to have a free space at a point, and then the game doesn't come out at that time you were looking forward to play it when you had time, and I don't know, man. Yeah. Also, like we said, new stuff. You presume that with new technology, with all the lessons learned from previous games, the newer stuff should be better. And if it gets delayed, then that's a sign that whoever's making it maybe doesn't know as much as the previous guys.
Yeah.
That's really where we're at.
Yeah.
And obviously, in summary, of course, death threats, send them to everybody, especially the guys over at Sucker Punch. Go and let them know, unless we get 1v1 deals, they'll be getting 1v1 deals. Don't do that. That was totally a joke.
He meant that. Sean.
Which was the question we were reading out?
I read out Cobras' one.
But what was the question that we're...
Oh no, it was just it was talking about game delays and it
Okay.
was about Starfield and stuff like that. Do you want to read out Sean's one? He's talking about Dead Space and stuff like that.
First of all, he says Starfield. Who cares about Shitfield?
Who cares? Shitfield.
Dead Space.
Got him.
I'm so freaking hyped for the remake, but I feel like the game will be delayed. Yeah.
It's always the way.
But I'm also wary because I know how EA are, but then again, they did release Jedi Fallen Order, which was good.
How much of that was Respawn and how much of that was EA?
Right. And also, I got a ton of bugs.
I have a feeling that Respawn were working so hard, and at every moment EA is trying to push them off of the ship. And it's like, no, we're going to do this. We're going to get this on.
It definitely
Stop
feels
pushing
like
us.
it definitely feels like every win is in spite of EA,
Yes.
and every fail is because of EA. That's the perception I have, anyway.
Yeah.
For the new PS5, though, he says, I hate the idea of a new PS5, considering there's hardly any original PS5s.
Yeah. I said I'm only on board with this idea if it means producing more units in total
Yeah.
for the population, so we can all get some fucking consoles, play some
agree.
games, and enjoy ourselves. You know. He also says, "Have you seen this?" And I keep clicking it, and it says the tweet doesn't exist anymore. So I don't know what's going on there. Yeah, sorry about that, bro.
Did you read Reese's? Yeah, you did.
I read the first part. Read from the second.
New
paragraph.
PS5 seems a bit unnecessary, especially since the base PS5's potential hasn't really been realised yet. Fully agree with that. The console is still in short supply, so I think releasing a new one would just be silly.
Yep.
Yeah,
Agreed.
I mean, unless it changes that a bit. The other thing is, if they release PS5 Pro,
Yeah.
what price tag is it coming out at? Because I don't see it coming out at the same price. But because that's what happened with the PS4 is base PS4 has dropped and the PS5 came in at that PS4 Pro came in at that same price.
It's a very different landscape. It's hard to predict, isn't it?
Right.
We'll see. We'll see what happens. Okay, so let's move on to the question of the show. So I asked you guys a question. Well, sorry, Diogo asked this question in the last episode, and I wanted to pitch that for you guys to talk today. The question is, what is one gameplay mechanic that you detest the most? What's the gameplay mechanic that you detest the most?
There's two.
Okay.
One, and it's not fair really because I was talking about Elden Ring earlier, but I feel like I get punished for... There feels like there's a window that isn't there yet. Like if I react to something a bit too quickly and I'm outside the window, I get punished for it.
Okay.
So that bugs me. Like we saw this with Spider-Man. You know when I was playing that and I saw a guy going to attack me and I tried to dodge and then he hit me because I dodged too early.
Right.
That bugs me a little bit. But again, that's much more of a me problem. And two, which I cannot stand, even though I'm not a completionist, is needing to play something twice.
Oh.
Like, I don't
You're
want...
speaking to my
I do not want to have to do New Game
trophy
Plus.
hunter in my heart.
If I have to do New Game Plus, but I don't even care about trophies, but I shouldn't have to do a New Game Plus to do it or to unlock a thing. That is not... What's the point? Also, if I don't need to, I'm more likely to replay it because I don't have to. I'm replaying it because I want to. Mother frickers. Oh my days, that annoys the shit out of me. Those are my two big ones.
I had one, but I'm gonna add a second one now.
Okay.
It's similar to your one where you have to replay it again. I hate having to replay a game again because it unlocks a new difficulty, and I can only get the platinum trophy by playing it at that higher difficulty. It's like-
Ultra Nightmare.
Right, they did it
Whatever,
with Kenna Bridge of Spirits, and there was a hack, or sort of like a cheat that you can do where you save a game at a certain point in there. By the time I finished the game, they'd patched that, and I was like, "Well, you've guaranteed I'm not gonna fucking play this game again."
Right.
And I was like, "I'm out of here. I'm not doing it again." And I'm not gonna play it. It was already hard at some points anyway. Those bosses.
Yeah.
It went to like Demon Souls level all of
Yeah,
a sudden.
yeah.
I'm not gonna play on Ultra Nightmare level just to get this fucking thing.
Yeah.
Fuck you, okay? Fuck you, Ember Labs.
Oh,
You
on
can't
that
even
note-
pronounce your own bloody game properly.
Right.
Kano.
It's Kano.
It's Kano. Okay.
On that note, and it's not something that affects me, but this bugs me
Yeah.
because I know people care. Bringing out stuff like trophies that become timed exclusives or go away.
Oh, they did that with Destiny, didn't they? Fucking hell.
You know, if you vault a thing, that trophy should no longer be needed, or whatever's in it should no longer be needed for completion.
Yeah.
And I don't even care about that stuff, and that annoys the hell out of me.
Yeah, you can't do that shit.
It's not okay.
Cardinal sin.
It's
man.
not good customer service.
The one that I had in my head, though, the one that I really hate, and some people disagree with me,
Okay.
and I understand the reason for it.
All right, let's hear it. Let's hear it.
I hate encumbrance. I hate when you pick up a bunch of stuff and suddenly you're like, oh, I can't walk now. Oh my God, you're too heavy. You need to get rid of some stuff. And I'm like, and it's particularly bad because it's usually in games that have an abundance of shit
Just
for you to
ridiculous
pick up.
amounts of loot, yeah.
I like in The Witcher, right? I love the game. I love it so much, but there is so much crap to pick up in that game.
Swords.
You go, you kill a guy, and you're like, cool. I'm gonna loot this guy. 10 spikes on a stick, a sword, his useless armor that doesn't mean anything, an apple and some bread. And you pick it up, and you're like, cool, that's the one. You pick up the other 5 guys, and now you can't walk. And it's like, fuck.
Listen, it's a video game.
Don't do it.
It's a video game. It's not real. Anything magic should not weigh anything, and money, for one, should not weigh anything.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be like, you've got all this money, you can't walk anymore. And also, there's no progression of it. That's one of the things that really bugs me, is it comes in real hard. There is a hard stop. So you are the most athletic ninja out there.
rolling, dodging.
Then the second you pick up
running.
one other thing, puts you over, and you're down to a crawl. Like if it were to build up, I'd be
Yeah.
more tolerant of it, and I'd pay attention to it a bit more. Also, all it means that I do is I go through and drop 2 grey swords or something,
Yeah.
and I'm back to normal, and I fast travel and sell stuff. It's silly. It's silly. It doesn't make any
So
sense.
dumb. It's so
stupid.
dumb. I hate it with a passion. Don't get me wrong. Like I said, I know there's a reason for it. There's a mechanic. It's like, you know, it's to stop you from carrying everything with you. And like when you go out on a trip to like go fight the dragon or go fight the
not?
griffin, whatever it is, you pick your potions correctly, you pick your armor correctly, you pick your swords correctly and stuff like that. And if you've because you know you can pick up like armors and swords that aren't for your level.
Yeah.
You don't go and just carry them until you're the right level or whatever it is.
Yeah,
You-
no one ever does that.
no one, exactly. I'm like, cool, I get that. I'm playing a fucking video game, okay? I'm here to have fun.
Right.
Stop putting things in that that deliberately makes it unfun.
Right.
Like when we used to play Call of Duty, for example.
Yeah.
To get the gold camo,
Yeah.
you had to do everything. Play a gun 1,000 hours on this thing,
Yeah.
and then play 1,000 hours without attachments, which is literally making the game worse
In
for
fairness,
you.
it was about getting kills, but I'm with you.
True,
there.
but getting the amount of kills in the least fun way possible. Why would you put in make me play something in the least fun way possible?
It was worse. Did you play COD 4?
Yeah.
It was worse in COD 4 because there were only like 4 gold guns, and the only way to get the gold gun, like to get the gold deagle, was you had to complete everything for every pistol, and then you'd get the 1 gold deagle skin. So if you were rocking a gold AK, which I was, it meant something. Same as like the Red Tiger. Red Tiger camo meant that you had like 1,000 headshots or something. It meant
Don't
something.
get me wrong, it meant something, and it was and when you saw
But
someone
also,
with it,
frick that.
That's
oh
the
my
thing.
days.
It's-
I'm not 16 anymore.
you-
I don't have unlimited time because I'm not doing homework.
it's specifically designed for you to play it in the least fun way possible to get this thing.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, when you
No,
get
at
it
least
in
it's
the end,
only
it's
cosmetic.
achievement. Yeah, exactly.
So, but yeah.
But this thing is like, oh, you've invented something and you put it in the game to directly make my life worse.
Right.
What the fuck was your thinking? Take one step back there. I hate encumbrance for that reason. Again,
I feel
get-
you're on encumbrance. Encumbrance is a good one. Also, it's pity that you picked that and I didn't, because the one I picked doesn't really affect me. But it still annoys me.
It's annoying.
It annoys the hell out of me. You shouldn't need to do this stuff. And encumbrance, like, yeah, I get it. It's not realistic. But, spoiler alert, killing wyverns and shit isn't realistic either. That's
Guess what?
why I'm here.
Mate, you could surely there's a spell or something you can do to make yourself be able to carry all that weight.
Also, like in
Surely.
Cyberpunk, forgetting all of the negatives there, it's like, okay, there's encumbrance. But up until that point, I've got 7 shotguns, 4 samurai swords. Like, mate, have you ever tried carrying 1 gun? It's a freaking nightmare. The
Isn't it?
only reason you do it is because someone else is trying to kill you.
Carrying 7 of them. Where are you putting all of this?
You're not. Like, this ain't the Matrix where you're like, you know, Neo coming into that thing. That would be a nightmare. It would be awful. So, like, it's arbitrary. So
Yeah.
that's the problem, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's stupid.
Corporal Dingleberry writes into patreon.com/conbrosations with his priority
Gamer.
comment, just like you guys can. This is fucking great. Corporal Dingleberry, my man. I guess not necessarily a gameplay mechanic, but it has always really bothered me in games where a character receives an item and then they just put it behind their back and it disappears. This is what we just say right here. It's particularly noticeable in like God of War with Kratos when he rips the heart out of a Helheim Guardian and then just sticks it behind his belt and it just disappears. I agree with you actually. I mean, if they put it,
all they have to do is say, "Oh, you have the magic pouch of like carrying shit," and then he puts it into the pouch, and of course he can carry stuff. It's the magic pouch of carrying shit.
or even if you're not going to be that creative and you're not going to go that far, if you're going to be lazy, don't put it behind where we can fucking see and then it
that's our
disappears.
camera angle for most of the
Put
time.
it in front of you and then it disappears. And it's like, cool, I didn't see
Also,
it disappear.
on The Witcher, that's
Immersion.
like the thing goes on Roach half the time.
Yeah.
So
and you see the head of like
Yeah,
whatever
it's
animal.
great.
It's great. He goes, it's just a video game at the end of the day, but surely there's a way to show them keep it somewhere like that doesn't break immersion.
Yeah.
I agree. Corporate Negro, my man, you're a legend, okay?
legend.
Just, do you want to read Giuseppe's one in
Yeah, I
the
can do.
chat right here? So right at the top.
Over on our Discord, the worst gameplay mechanic that I detest the most was from Kingdom Come Deliverance. You can't save in that game. The only way to save is with some kind of potion or by sleeping. With this mechanic, I wasted a lot of gameplay time and progress each time I died and forgot to sleep or make those potions. And congrats on the new studio. Thank you, Gamer.
What?
Guys,
You can't
bros.
save? There's no save? Like in the menu? That's ridiculous.
I will say something that's bugging me as well about Elden Ring is the menu feels like it's from 2003.
Oh.
You know, it's like you got to select, oh, that's the wrong thing. That's my inventory. I need to go to this thing, and it's all the way to leave game. And yeah, it's clunky and weird.
I have to say, I think Elden Ring's given a lot of leeway. I
think
hear
you're right.
people talking about bugs. I hear people talking about old like gameplay design and stuff like that, and it's been given a lot of leeway. Like it's
do
been
kinda
talked about
wish-
the best game
Yeah.
in the past 2 decades, and I'm like,
I don't think it's that. I think the story's probably amazing. I need to find out more, but
I still haven't played it, and I love
it
my,
might be
my
the best
Dark Souls
roguelike game. But I don't, this is what I kind of wish you'd played it first, so then I could like bounce ideas. And I'll give it back to you because I haven't loved it, but I'm not hating it, and I'm gonna put probably up to about 5 hours into it to say, okay, I've given it a fair shot, and if I don't love it by then, I'm not in it. So if you want it back,
Yeah.
you can try it first and let me know, because I'll be back soon.
The first red flag for this game not being so great really should have been that Katie loves it. Katie loves it, you know it's gonna be a bad game.
Big facts.
Yeah,
Although
yeah,
she
yeah.
does love Ghost of Tsushima as well, and that is a
Shit.
banger. But even a broken clock is right twice a day.
It's true. It's true. That's crazy to me, Giuseppe. By the way, that no save. But that's really fucking
That
stupid.
is ridiculous. And there are games where like you only have save points, and that also bugs me.
Yeah.
And I don't mind the idea of like, okay, you can save at any point, but when you come in, you're back at the checkpoint. I don't mind that. As long as everything I have is saved, I can go forward again.
Yeah.
But the idea that like, if you're between points and you don't save, that's that.
So dumb. Diogo writes in to answer his own question, and he says, I detest. Oh, here we go. I detest multiple playthroughs needed to complete the story. For real.
The story.
So I don't know if does he mean with
Maybe he
like
means the
multiple
game.
endings?
I feel like,
What game do you need to play that
So,
you
like-
complete the story?
I don't know about the story, but like as an example, Mass Effect. You know, when you get to that, or games like that, when you get to mission, it says, after this point, there's no going back.
Yeah.
That's where no, I don't want to do that. Hard save,
Yeah.
so you can come back and do all your different changes.
Yeah.
If, however, what you're saying is like, it doesn't matter if you do that. The only way to unlock another thing is completing a playthrough. That's bullshit.
Let me finish
I
what
mean,
he
on the
says. He
games
says,
part, I mean.
especially when it's going through the same game again with a reskin character or starting from level 1. No, there is a game where I striking a memory, but I'm blanking on it now.
I know that there are things that unlock in like so Nier or Drakengard or something like that, a similar thing. There are versions where once you complete the game, if you do another playthrough, like you can hear the villains, like they're sort of speaking a different language, and if you've beaten the game, you can understand it now.
Right.
And it's super dark. My brother loves these games, and he was telling me, like, you go through, you fight all these demons and stuff, and then if you come back, it turns out that they're not exactly demons. They're like the souls of dead kids and stuff, and you can hear them like saying, "Oh no, he's coming! Run, run, run!" That kind of shit. Awful. The game is designed to break your heart, from what I hear, and he loves that stuff, and I don't. But I don't need games to make me sad, man.
Yeah. I'm blanking on it now, but I feel like I know what he's talking about. Where like you go through to the end, and essentially it puts you all the way to the beginning, and like the world's a different color.
Right.
And then you have to play through the whole thing again. I distinctly remember saying that is pretty fucking bullshit.
That's
because
not okay.
It's not
even New Game Plus.
It's not even New Game, exactly. You've just changed the color of the world. That's pretty dumb. That's fucking shit. That is shit.
Yeah.
That is shit right there. You want to do Black Screen Bro 1?
Yeah, I'm just checking the Black Screen Bro 2 doesn't have a thing. No, Black Screen Bro 1, I think that's aka Alpha Aquilele, says not gonna be a compass.
You don't have to be a compass if you don't want to. Honestly, just be whatever you want to be, whatever you feel inside.
However you identify.
Exactly. Whatever you identify. I identify as a compass. No, I don't feel I identify as a compass.
Oh, I think what he's saying is it's not having a compass and not an overly obtrusive HUD. There's something worse. Health bars. Yes, that's what I'm saying. So I think people complained, by the way, about Horizon Forbidden West having an intrusive HUD.
Okay.
I didn't see that at all.
I played it on immersive without anything.
Did you?
I played it plain because I was like, I want to play it like a movie. I got rid of it all.
That could be a shout. I didn't. I just played it standard, and it was fine. I thought. There's something worse. Health bars. Don't show me those. Keep that locked with the code and don't show what's happening behind the scenes of the game. I don't want to be reminded that I'm playing a game. That and the damage numbers are just dev tools. Remember to turn them off for the final product. I play to be immersed.
Facts.
I will say the damage numbers definitely help me realize that I've got a more powerful weapon. You know, otherwise how am I going to... No, you have to go through like a lot more visuals to show me that this weapon's better. I've
had fun with some games that have damage numbers, like Destiny, for example. I really like how that's done. But
yeah,
if you're talking about an immersive game, Destiny's not an immersive game. It's a first-person shooter.
Neither like Apex or COD. Like I want to see the big numbers. Give me that dopamine.
Yeah,
but
if you're talking about like if we're playing Last of Us, I don't want to see numbers popping off of zombies and
absolutely shit. Not.
Yeah, that's not right.
Is there any in it for God of War? I forget.
Not God of War, no.
It doesn't. There's no... Yeah, do you know what? I'm going to shut up. Yeah, because for games like that, I don't want them, and you're totally right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if the priority is to be immersed, get them.
Get out of here.
You're out of here.
Tailgate writes in with the most detested game mechanic, and he says, has to be time limits. The really bad ones get so stressful, especially if the level has an annoying gimmick and sends you back to the beginning if you fail.
So I'm with you. However, my like first memory, I probably had time trials before this, but the one that sticks out to me as a highlight in my gaming like childhood, the Warthog run in Halo.
Oh yeah.
That was incredible, and it was the perfect mix of like stuff's happening, but it's not silly gimmicks. You have to get somewhere for a good reason. That felt good, and it was attainable.
Yeah.
You know? So that's what I always think of when people say time limits. But there are a bunch of times where it's done totally wrong, and I fully feel you. But that's an example where it's done right, and I feel like that's good. But
Agreed.
I feel you. I feel you.
Sean,
by the way, I love his name and his freaking
dog stepped on
my dog stepped on a bee. What does he say? Oh no, we already got this, didn't we?
Yeah, we've got his one already. Oh, and Reese, not Reese's one?
Yeah. After the resurgence, after popularity of open world RPGs these last few years, damage numbers just make me sad. First thing I disable when I open up a game. Please,
fucking Assassin's Creed, you fucking ruined it for everyone. Ugh.
Also, I feel like Assassin's Creed's one where you just don't need it. Like either that blade one shots, or you go to attacks.
Well, that's the problem. They removed the one-shot assassination. They removed from Assassin's Creed.
The thing that bugs me about that is that makes sense. You're walking up behind a guy, sticking a blade in the base of his skull. That's a one-shot.
It's like, ow!
Yeah.
Ow!
Hey, let me just pull out my rapier and duel you for a bit.
Now let's fight.
What?
Oh, God, that's so
There's
dumb.
a good list of problems.
Yeah.
And I feel like we can get rid of all of those and we'll all be happy.
We'll all be happy in gaming for once in our lives.
I think that's it, man, isn't it?
That's all the answers from people. A couple of things. Tailgate wrote in. He said, "Here's a question from me, and you guys can write down in the comment section." He says, "What is your favorite console controller?" It can be from any era. Mine is the PS5 DualSense with the haptics, but for nostalgia value, my favorite is the Wii controller because of what it was my first console. The Wii controller was quite fun, and it was totally different.
It was awful.
There's
is what it
what?
was.
Come on!
I mean, like
They
in
had
terms,
the
of,
nunchuck and
of sensitivity, it was terrible. But I agree with you.
I remember playing Wii bowling all the time with that shit.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying it wasn't fun. I'm saying the sensitivity was garbage and it was be all over the place and glitching and stuff. I think the DS5's where it's like it fits right and it's the right shape and the haptic is amazing. However, for nostalgia, N64.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
I just love showing people who've never used it before, and they're like,
asking them to hold it. Yeah,
"Wait, hold on, wait."
yeah. Do you
wait.
cup the balls and work the shaft, or
Wait.
like, you know, it's literally a handful, and you need an extra hand.
Yeah.
So stupid.
One other thing here, Black Screen Bro. This is Alpha Aquele. He wrote down here, play the Stanley Parable. Missed comments and details from previous week. You'll love it. These guys, Isak Mani has been playing it as well.
Yeah.
And, he recently got the Platinum Trophy on it. And that made me think, let me have a look at the Platinum Trophy list. Let's see what it entails. And you guys are all idiots. You know I'm a trophy whore. And the way to get to my heart is via trophies.
Right.
You guys didn't tell me how fucking cool the trophy list is. It's all gold trophies. Not
Okay.
a single bronze, not a single silver. Gold.
Well, I'm immediately out because the thing I live for is your Twitter telling me that Eddie has unlocked one bronze trophy in like Astro's Playroom or something stupid like that. Yeah.
And the trophies are fucking hilarious. So one of them it's called Welcome Back, and it says quit the game and start the game again.
Okay.
Just hilarious.
Gold trophy, banging.
One says you can't jump, and it says no, seriously, we disabled it. So if you try and press X, you can't jump, and it gives you a trophy.
Okay.
There's one that's called
stupid, and I'm already in love with it.
right. There's one that says click
Googling
on
it
door 435 times. Apparently, when you do it 5 times, the narrator comes on and says, "Stop trophy hunting. You've got a job to do." And then tells you to go on a side quest. And then once you do it, you get the trophy.
I've seen people play like the first 5 minutes of this, and I didn't see what it was about. Like, I didn't immediately get it.
Apparently, it's like really comedic and stuff like that. There's
Okay.
one that says settings world champion. It says set all the setting sliders in the menu to all available numbers.
Okay. Wait, so you have to go one, stop,
Like
set.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
or you
6,
just
7,
go,
10.
you just put it all the way up and put it all the way down.
Yeah.
If it's any good, that could be a really good stream game. for
Right.
us. Either stream game or, we were trying to do more of those gameplay things.
Yeah.
Did we ever release the Sniper Elite?
Not yet. It's still being edited. I've been
I
moving,
mean,
so nothing.
We should maybe play some of these games, but this could be a good one for that.
Right? There's another one called Test Trophy. Please ignore.
That's funny.
Right? It's all like a joke on itself. Why
funny.
did you not come to me with this?
You're stupid. Why have you guys got such small, smooth brains? Smooth.
like a peanut. Just. Oh god, this is what you should have come to me with. I want to play this game now because of these trophies.
See, this is the sort of game I think we should do some gameplay for that. I also think we should do It Takes Two, but
Yeah.
that's gone past it now. This could be good fun.
And apparently there's a speedrun trophy. Hold on a sec. Speedrun. It's called Complete Stanley Parable in under 4 minutes. Perfect game for us.
Can it be completed in under 4 minutes?
It says under 4 minutes and 22
In
seconds.
fairness, that's only like half of Elden Ring.
Yeah, exactly.
So
There you go. This is what you should have led with when you were trying to pitch this game to me.
Yeah.
I'm playing this game now purely because I saw the Isak had the platinum trophy. I'm like, this is something I should get. Anyway, that's something right there. One final thing. Oh yeah, one final thing from Catspa. He wrote into patreon.com just like you guys can. And he says, hello. You asked me recently if I'm enjoying Battlefield 2042. As I occasionally still play it. And honestly, I do. Okay.
Yeah.
Of course, it's not the experience I wanted it to be or still want it to be in the future. The lack of map variety as it's only 7 right now, not counting Portal, gets to me, to be honest, especially when every single game I search throws me into an Antarctica one. Oh god, that must be fucking awful.
I hate that. Yeah.
That map is just, it's overdone now. I still don't like the idea of the different characters. They should just have regular classes back with specialist skills to be assigned to those classes. You choose which ones you want. Let's say you're playing Assault and you choose either a grappling hook or a Sundance grenade. Yeah. Very true. The gunplay is fixed though. I believe anyway. The game feels good. There aren't any noticeable glitches anymore, so that's good. However, it does have a lack of stuff. I know I would like the scoreboard to be better. To be able to see the different squads, get rid of the end match voice lines, and give us back Battlefield 1 and 5 /5 best squad screen.
Yeah.
Who doesn't like those voices at the time?
They're great.
Hey, bad luck, sometimes you win sometimes you don't. Hey.
Also, I think they're just great. There's no negative to that. Why take it out?
Exactly. Why get rid of it? I just hope that season 1 finally arrives in the summer and we actually get some content, because the only thing that's really keeping me here are the weekly missions. As fun as they are to do, the Portal ones really refresh as they refresh every week, different game modes. As you can't find any custom game modes, nobody's playing them. Yeah, they need to give some content. And he finally says, oh, and speaking of nobody playing them, I have 50 hours in the game, not counting the 20 from the betas, and I have never played a game of Hazard Zone or whatever it's called. Oh, yeah, Hazard.
Oh, yeah.
There's like the satellite drops and you have to grab the drive and whatnot.
We never did that.
He goes, Hazard Zone or whatever it's called. I tried looking for one weeks ago, but there are literally 0 games of it on PlayStation, so that's unfortunate. Hope you guys had a nice week off. We did have a nice week off.
Yeah, we did. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Well, I bet you didn't. You were busy doing moving.
I was doing a lot of stuff.
But is this sort of like your real life Elden Ring? Once it's completed, that satisfaction.
I do feel a lot better now that I'm in this space. There's a lot of junk still in this room.
Oh my god!
You looked over there.
The cable management is atrocious. It's not cable management. We've got to fix that.
Don't look behind the curtain. Don't look behind the curtain.
I actually need a curtain. I just put my blood pressure on my days.
We still have the Conbrosations podcast to record. You have to be here in that room with that.
That's actually put my blood pressure up. And in fairness, obviously this had to get ready for today. Like, I get it, but I also hate it.
Just threw it all together.
I hate it. But I mean, I understand.
Anyway, bros, thank you all for tuning in for another episode of the True Gamer podcast.
That's right.
We appreciate you guys coming back.
Thanks for liking the video.
Yes, thank you for doing that. Thank you for doing that nice and early. And thank you for everything that you guys do over on Discord, Twitter, everything like that. If you like the video, share it, do all that kind of stuff because it helps us out.
Good stuff.
If you find any funny bits or some good bits that you feel like would be good for like little clips and stuff like that, let us know. Probably not the best time to mention it as well, but let us know because we want to try and cut things out now and put them up on like YouTube Shorts, Twitch, TikTok. That's the one.
I did that as well.
TikTok.
I don't know if anybody heard that, but based on where we are in London, I wasn't sure if that was a car backfiring or a drive-by.
Could be either.
It could have been both.
Could have been both.
Why not both? So yeah, we want the best bits. Anything you find particularly funny, let us know the timestamp so we can go and cut it out and it should be good. Should be good. Plus, it'll be funny content. Like maybe if you missed an episode, if somebody else finds the best bit, you'll see that clip. So it works for everybody. All
right, guys. Thank you guys so much for everything that you do. We'll catch you all in the next one. Peace. Oh shit, we was too far away.
I can't.
I'm gonna get. There we go. So we made it.
I can't link because this has to go that way.
Yeah. See you later, boys.
Later, boys. And now I can't beef you out. You're too far away. You're allowed to just be completely unsupervised. Well, supervised, but
unstopped,
whatever that word is. I know words.
I know a couple of them.
I know a couple.